Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. Of course, it is the Game Week 5 deadline. We are here nice and early for, of course, a 3-hour stream. It's going to be a long one. As you can tell, my voice is already pretty much morning-y. It's always like this to start with. It'll sort itself out. Don't worry. Don't worry if I do sound a bit different. Make sure you're getting your questions in. Of course, we will be doing team ratings as well. My Twitter is in the bottom left of the screen right now, at FPLTom_. There's also a link in the description as well if you can't find it. So leave it under my most recent tweet, and we'll get round to doing some of those. Of course, this week, the wildcard team is active, so we will be doing some probably last minute changes. I don't know, I think we're pretty much settled. There was no price change for Mykolenko. If you were in the deadline preview stream yesterday, you was obviously hoping for a drop in Mykolenko. It meant we could go and get Tavernier. That hasn't happened, so it's probably not looking likely that that move will happen today. But we've got FPL Onions in the chat. He said, don't forget to make your subs. Yeah, this isn't Champions League fantasy, so we should be fine in that regard. Lee has said, I got a back three of Konza, Trent, and Robertson. Very nice. A Turkey in a Bush, one of our channel members. Again, if you want to sign up for channel membership, it is only 99p. You get loads of cool emojis and you know, chance to become a moderator for the channel as well. So it's all good stuff. He says, will DCL and João Pedro both play? DCL should play, yeah, 100%. And João Pedro, looking at some of the quotes yesterday, and we'll talk about those in a little bit more detail throughout today's stream, it does look like that he has been in training, but at the same time, they're not confident, if you know what I mean. Like, he's like, oh yeah, we won't risk him if we need to. That doesn't fill me with confidence when a manager says that. So yeah, it's not good. But I've got a backup of cheap and expensive, fast Robertson and Trent. Nice. Lisa, big up as well. Big up. Make sure you're getting your questions in, guys. Like I said, there's also a poll going around for the best captain for this game week. So make sure you're getting that locked and loaded as well. Like I said, team reviews as well will be going a little bit later. Why is everyone sleeping on Mateta? I mean, he looks decent. He does look decent. I think, though, if Nketiah is starting the same amount of games and there's a big price difference, I think I'd rather take Nketiah if they're both starting every week. Start Gabriel or Aina. I already have Raya in goal. We'll come on to look at clean sheet percentages, and that might help you out with that one. Would you start João Pedro or Gabriel? The thing is, I feel like João Pedro will either be in the squad or not in the squad completely if they're not going to risk him. So I probably would take the gamble on João Pedro. Yeah, I'll take a look. We'll take a look at team reviews in a little bit. George is in here as well, another one of our channel members. He said, boom, 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 Mateta's in the room. Very nice, George. Very nice indeed. How are you doing, mate? You doing good? I hope so. Make sure you're getting your questions in, guys. Make sure you get in the likes as well in for the stream. And obviously, if you are new around here, make sure you are hitting that the subscribe button with bell notifications on as well. It does obviously mean when we do go live, you're instantly here. You're having a good time. You're vibing. You're loving life. You know what I mean? Why has it stopped working on there? I hope my internet hasn't just gone down. It just stopped working on my laptop, the stream. So I'm praying and I'm hoping here that we're all good. I hope you guys can still hear me. I hope. But right, let's move on. Let's move away from the solo camera because, you know, you don't want to see my gorgeous face for too long. This is the wildcard team for this week. This is what we're currently planning on moving to. Obviously, if you saw my team from the past few weeks, it has slowly been decimated by injuries. Players obviously no longer featuring. And yeah, this is now what we're working with. Georgia says, I'm good, just whipping up some scran. How are you? Yeah, I'm decent, man. What are you whipping up? What are you whipping up? Laura, another one of our channel members, she says, hi Tom, would you start Isak and Saka? Would you swap, Isak and Saka for Salah and DCL? Ooh. I think I would, you know. I think I would. Just especially if you're going to captain Salah this week. It does give you the best captaincy option next week. Are you wildcarding next week? I wildcard this week. Do you think that I should sell Rodgers for Semenyo next week, then sell him again in game week 8? Or would that be waste of a transfer? I mean, if you could just have Semenyo in from the start and then maybe like bench him like I'm doing with Sharda here. So Sharda's going to come in for Vardy. So if you've got a way to like maybe bench him rather than use transfers up on it. The quotes around Isak is dubious at best. Let me take a quick look at this because we're having quite a few questions in. So these are the quotes from yesterday's press conferences. He took a knock to his foot. We'll find out more today, meaning yesterday, and make a decision. Hopefully it's not too bad. However, if you've ever read an Eddie Howe press conference comment around an injured player, you know this man lies through his teeth. So I wouldn't believe a word he says. Brighton as well. João Pedro will train today, again meaning yesterday, with a late decision on his involvement still to be made. He was picture training, so that's at least a good start. However, again, the fact that they won't take any risks suggests to me that if he's not 100% fit and available, they're just not going to have him in the squad. So yeah. Oh, if you're wildcarding next week, then yeah, you could definitely make that move. It gives you the best captain as well. It also means you're not taking that gamble on Isak, which I don't think he's going to play. Like, there's not been any pictures of him training. Eddie Howe is a notorious liar, so yeah. Making sausage and bacon rolls. Very nice. Very nice. That is a big question, though. That is a big question for the chat. What do you call, like, 2 pieces of, not bread, but like, you know what I mean? Like, people call it a bap, a roll, a cob, a butty, a balm. What is it? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. For me, it's a cob. And it always will be a cob. Is Pedro going to play? Again, you know, just here, we're looking at it. Pedro or DCL? I would prefer DCL this week. Keith says, hi from Sydney. Hi, mate. How's it going? Hey Jamie, how's it going? I hope you're doing good, man. And VJ has said, please like, it really helps the channel. It does really help the channel. It pushes the stream out to more people, which is exactly what we want for these deadline streams as well. Get as many people in here, get as many new subscribers into the channel as well. So yeah, if you are new around here, make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing as well. It is massively appreciated by me. There's also a poll going around, so make sure you're getting yourself involved with that. Hi Tom, do you think Mbeumo is a good pick this week? I think he's a good long-term pick. I mean, the fixture isn't quite there this week, is it? But I still think he is a great long-term pick, to be honest. So yeah, I think he's a steady pickup this week. But longer-term, he's a better one. So if you've maybe got like some budget constraints, then yeah, he could be a decent pickup because it looks like he might rise tonight. And I'd expect if he does pop off today, could be another one. I have Solanke on the wild card. I need him to get a goal at least. Yeah, I've seen a few people with Solanke. I don't think he's a bad shout. Should I wild card or in game week 6? We'll take a look when we take a look at your team, mate. I'll let you know. I couldn't risk another Isak price drop. Got rid of him and shoehorned Salah in. Yeah, I feel that is the problem for a lot of people that are looking to wildcard next week. Is basically for me, realistically, the reason I went this week was not only was my squad in a bit of a tatters, I couldn't afford probably most of the players, especially with Haaland now having another price rise. You've got who else had one? Vardy had one. Aina had one last night. So I would have been like priced out of a lot of this team. So that's the reason I had to go. Like, I've just not got the team value at the moment. Hello from Oslo, Norway. Nice. Get Muniz and Pedro. Would like swap them with Wood and Vardy. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And Nketiah and Wood is so tight. Like, I know Nketiah had a decent first game, and obviously Glatzner's comments were that they expect him to be a kind of, you know, playing fairly regularly. But I do need to see a lot more from him. I think Wood, I don't really know how to call Chris Wood at the moment. I think he is a decent option, and the Fantasy Football Hub like method really really likes him at the moment. Yeah, I'm happy with the wild card. There's probably one player I'm not 100% convinced by, and that is Sharda. We were hoping for a Mikalenko price drop, so we could have gone and got Tavernier to rotate with Vardy and Rodgers. But yeah, I think Sharda will play as the striker. But how long that's going to last, I don't know. So it's a bit of a gamble. It is a bit of a gamble. I think Carvalho is an okay shout, but I don't think he's going to see minutes this week. Just because they'll play a 5-back and they'll play Lewis Potter. And they'll probably play a front two of Sharda and Mbeumo. So usually when they do play more difficult opponents, they switch to a 5-back. So yeah, I think Carvalho maybe sees some minutes against the lesser opponents, but for now, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Should I bring in Trent for Gavardio and make him captain, as I don't have Salah, Palmer, or Watkins? I mean, you could always captain Erling Haaland and just hope that he performs in that game. Like, I know it's not a great fixture, but he's still up there for projected points models, so yeah. Would you go Solanke over DCL for a 1-week punt? I think I would prefer going for DCL, to be honest. I'd really like Dominic Solanke as a player, and I think he's great. But I think Brentford can make things very, very difficult for teams with that 5-back and just sat so low. We saw it with City. Like, there wasn't much room. It took a lot of patient football from Manchester City, to be honest. No second goalkeeper in case hard. I don't think there's any point in spending that extra 0.5 million on a goalkeeper for me, really. And if I'm bench boosting, it's probably going to be in the second half when I've wildcarded again. So yeah, we're just going to go with Fabianski, probably the only goalkeeper that has a chance of playing with 4 millions. But Raya's just going to stick it out, I reckon. He's like, rain or shine, Raya will just play. Arsenal look pretty decent defensively as well. So that's the plan with that one. We're not going to, spend an extra 0.5 for a keeper that's realistically not going to get in ahead of Raya. I feel quite comfortable playing Raya in pretty much any game. Like, that doesn't mean like every player's fixture proof or Arsenal players are fixture proof, but the way they've started the season, they look really good. So I'm just going to keep with it. Boo boo. Do. Keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have, we will get them answered as always. Let's quickly take a look at some betting data for this week. This might help you with some potentially tight decisions. Which players should you be looking to play? Obviously, projected goal numbers. Liverpool very, very much fancied to do quite well with 2.7 projected goals. So I think that does make Mohamed Salah one of the best captaincy options this week. Tottenham also up there. So if you have taken a gamble on Son, Solanke, could work out very, very well. I probably would say I'd be playing Porro as well this week. Villa really fancy to do quite well in the Midlands derby, so Watkins could be a great shout to go for. And interestingly, City's data isn't terrible despite the opposition they are playing. So again, could be worth just maybe sticking the armband on Erling Haaland if you haven't got Mohamed Salah this week. He's still fancied to do quite well for projected points as well, so might not be the worst option in the world. Clean sheet wise as well, we've had a few people asking about that. 34% for Manchester City, so again, not the worst in the world. For me, I've got a choice between Aina and an Ipswich defender in Greaves, and actually I'm looking at that. 20% for them, 17 for Forest. What does the 11ify model have that at? Wrong one. We'll come look at that in a second. Forest 17 and where's Ipswich 22. So both models are backing an Ipswich clean sheet as a higher percentage chance. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift my team around a little bit and we're gonna put Greaves in instead of Aina. So let's do that. Boom. And then just make sure we click save. Boom. So yeah, there we go. So that's the plan with that one. Greaves with this is how I make my defensive decisions, by the way. If I'm ever unsure of which defender I should be playing at, I always usually go for the clean sheet percentages, see which player is always back to do a little bit better in terms of those as well. I also like to look at projected points models, but they can be a bit skew-iffy sometimes because certain models don't rate certain defenders and stuff like that. So I think sometimes backing those clean sheet models might be really good. And both models there, from the betting data and from the 11ify data, had Greaves over Aina. So yeah, we're going to go with that one. Do you think Rodgers is a flop? I think people I feel probably FPL content creators have hyped him up too much, and I'm definitely in that bracket, but it's the fact that he's so cheap. Like, he does look good and he does pass the eye test massively if you watch him play football, but at the same time, he is just a 5.1 million asset. If you look at everybody else at that price point, everyone else is just doing the exact same unless you're Souček and you've just knobbed in a couple corners. Like, it literally is just like, there's no one else really valuable at that price. So I think people are probably expecting a little bit too much from him. Greaves or Gabriel? I mean, if we look to the clean sheet percentages there, it did have Southampton as the Ipswich, sorry, is the better one. But I think with that game, I probably still would be tempted to play Gabriel. I have one free transfer. Should I transfer out Saka for Salah and Isak for Vardy? Take the -4 for hit and captain Salah. Depends who you've got as other captaincy options in that team, really. You could just stick it out with Haaland and hope for the best, but I do like the moves you've suggested, but whether or not they're worth a -4, it does give you the best captaincy option as well this week. For me, that's such a tough one. Genuinely a really tough one, because I don't know whether or not it's going to be worth the -4, but if Salah pops off as your captain, it's easily going to make it back up. Tough one. Kelleher as a punt or waste of a Liverpool spot? I think it's a waste of a Liverpool spot. Like, unless you're wildcarding next week. But at the same time, I don't like making goalkeeper transfers. There's very limited upside in making them. So it doesn't seem right to me to waste a transfer on that one. And Alisson still could potentially play. Like, they've not 100% ruled him out. Do I play Smith Rowe or over Rodgers this round? I would probably keep Rodgers in. Yeah, but look at the names we're saying here, right? Souček isn't a regular starter. Ahmed, again, will see drops. Like, he just will. He's competing with Garnacho, who every time he comes off the bench is smashing the game apart. Adama, it's Adama and I can't be arsed going there. Onana's not seeing 90 either. And Didi would probably be the one that would interest me, playing in that 10 role. But again, they've got players coming back from injuries that can also feature in that 10 role. So again, how long is that going to last? So, again, it's all just, yeah, no one there excites me. They just don't. When you're watching the games, they don't fill me with excitement. How much would you cost in FPL? Bro, I'd probably be like a 3.5 million. They'd have to make a new special price bracket for me. Gvardiol or Robertson roll in game week 6 wildcard. I think I'd just roll. Like, Gvardiol is going to play. It's such a huge game for City, so I'm expecting Gvardiol to play. So yeah, I just recommend rolling. This is the thing, right? I think dead ending. I spoke about this yesterday. I think dead ending transfers could be a bit of a thing of the past. With us now having that ability to roll, I think it's more valuable to take that transfer in post wildcard, rather than 1 week transfer. Yeah, it might work off and you might be able to reset your team, but that transfer could be so valuable if someone on the wildcard picks up an injury, or maybe some of the the transfers just don't quite work out. So yeah. I don't have Salah. Should I captain Diaz? You think he would play 80 to 90 minutes? Other options I have are Haaland, Watkins and Trent. Diaz would be a huge gamble, and his minutes would be the big risk that would probably be putting him off for me. Same probably goes for Watkins. Trent maybe, but then with that Alisson injury, probably not. And it's a big gamble. It is a big gamble if you went for Diaz captain, to be honest. You could cost -4 million. I wouldn't put you in. What do you mean by that? Lewis and Isak out. Arnold and Calvert in. How's that? Yeah, if that's all for free, then I'd go for it. Bench Robinson or ESR? What are the clean sheet percentages looking like? Fulham. 19%. So yeah, I'd probably go for ESR. I'd probably go ESR, yeah. DCL or Vardy only for game week 5. I mean, both projected numbers are pretty similar. Both have very talismanic qualities as well about them. So I think realistically, maybe back the home team with those Everton defensive injuries. I probably would say Vardy. But yeah. Can we aim for 75 likes, says VJ? Well, it's optimistic, but we'll try. We'll try. I'm sure if everyone gives it a juicy like who's in the stream right now, we might be able to get close to that one. Isak to Watkins for a hit. No, I don't think I'd do it for a hit. George, you make me laugh too sometimes. Onana or Rodgers? Yeah, Rodgers for me. Onana's minutes aren't there, and if you watch the way that he scored his goals and the way that they play for him is all purely down through like set pieces and being in the right place at the right time. So being able to kind of, you know, do that on a consistent basis is going to be hard, and teams are going to figure out what Villa are doing from set pieces and kind of man mark Onana. It seems very much like Fellaini a couple of years ago, where when David Moyes had him and they just used him as like a set piece threat. Again, trying to predict where set piece goals are going to come in is ridiculously hard. He's also prone to a yellow card, and I'm betting at some point that he will pick up a red card as well. Thoughts on Strand Larson? Yeah, he's a decent 5.5, but I'm not going to be going near him till game week 10 and beyond. Wolves' fixtures just aren't there, and the projected goal numbers aren't there, so it's not worth it. Captain Salah or Haaland? I think that's a pretty easy one. Again, looking at this data, projected goals, I would be saying I'd go Mohamed Salah. I would be going Mohamed Salah. Keep the questions coming in, guys. Keep those likes flying in as well. You guys are absolutely immense at that. Of course, there will be team ratings a little bit later on in today's stream. Make sure you are, of course, getting your teams sent over, and we'll take a good look at a load of those in a little while. I like your team, bro. I wildcarded this game week as well. Excited to design a team that goes against the grain. Other engaged managers who are mostly wildcarded next week, it seems. Yeah, I don't think there's any need to go against the grain. Like a lot of the picks in here are probably going to be popular picks on a 6 wildcard as well. Maybe like the likes of Vardy and DCL might not make it, but I feel like everybody else on this list is also going to be quite popular in terms of picks. Now, if Sharda starts that game this weekend, he will definitely be a popular pick. Just because we're basically getting a cheap way into a Brentford attacker who could be playing out of position. So, yeah. Word is that Gibran will soon be making starts. Who will suffer more, Watkins or Rodgers? I think like Watkins definitely will suffer because they're natural like for likes, and if they're winning a game, you would imagine that they'll just do the like for like. However, if we look at the last game, it was interestingly Ramsey that came off rather than Rodgers. Now Ramsey has been playing in that 10 role where I feel they probably would want Duran to sit, and that is their aim. So Rodgers could, like, we could see a substitution this week, and that makes Rodgers less of an appeal. However, at the moment, it does seem like it could be more Ramsey or Watkins, to be honest. 30 likes from 110, that's Colonel. Love it. George says he got 4 price rises last night. Nice, mate. Wonderful stuff. Vardy versus Calvert-Lewin. I think that is going to be the big discussion for today, isn't it? And for me, I would probably be favouring Vardy if I was to go for one of them. DCL's a longer term better option in my opinion. But yeah, let's have a look at the predicted points for this week. So we've got Vardy, who is on 4. And then we've got Calvert-Lewin, who is on 3.3. So there you go. So if you are looking for an option this week and you use projected points models, it's having Vardy as the better one. Who's the best midfielder in the 5.5? 5 to 5.5. I mean, Rodgers has to enter that conversation. Sharda could be a decent shout. I was looking at Tavernier. His stats are ridiculous. So if you could bench him for this week and then have him play 5 and 6, that could be a ridiculous pickup. There's some absolutely incredible data that young man's been picking up. So he could be a great one. What's your longer term plan? Keep both Haaland and Salah or just go with one? Now, I was looking at this and I think it could be Salah out in game week 8. However, I just want to see how things pan out for the next few weeks. That's why I've gone with a draft that has both Haaland, Salah and Saka in, because all of them are great captaincy options over the next 5 to 6 game weeks. And I feel having the best captain in the game could be a little bit of a cheat code every single week. So yeah. Solanke captain for a gamble. I think if I don't have Salah, maybe, but I think Haaland could still be a decent shout just to go with. McNeil in that 5.5 range as well. Yep, 100%. Cliver, yeah, I looked at Cliver. The data just isn't there. Like it's just a bit mid, to be honest, compared to it. Let's get him up quickly, but yeah, the data for Cliver is just not as good. Like otherwise, I probably would have made that move. But yeah, as you can see here, it's just not great, is it? Like it's 0.29, 0.2. Yeah, it's just like okay. 0.3 goal involvement per 90. It's just a bit mid. And he didn't start the first game, which is obviously a concern. 71 and 74 as well, not great projected minutes. So there was also, though, an argument that he might be the penalty taker now that Evelinson missed the last one. So that could be an interesting route. It really, really could be an interesting route. And I have thought about it. I have thought about maybe taking Sharda out and putting in Justin Kluivert for those 2 game weeks where, you know, Vardy has Arsenal and Thingy has here, so it'd be these 2 here. It would be tempting. It really, really would be tempting. Monday night game as well gives us another player there. I do like a Monday night game as well. But yeah, I the one I would go for if I could afford it would be Tavernier. Just because, like, this data is pretty decent. It is pretty decent. 0.7 per 90 is great. 2.7 expected goal involvement. I feel he's massively going under the radar here. He's played every game as well, and as you can see, the minutes are just way better. Way better. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to go and get him, which is a real, like, shame, to be honest. Like, I'm actually devastated we didn't get a price fall for Mikalenko last night. It would have meant we could have gone and got Marcus Tavernier, and I would be absolutely in love with that move. So yeah, Watkins or DCL? Ooh, I think both are absolutely fantastic options, and it basically means what I feel it's more dependent on team structure and what it allows you to go and do. 1 week punt, maybe Watkins is the better 1 week punt. Thoughts on João Pedro? I think longer term we're probably going to start to look away from Brighton assets. Their fixtures really do start to stink it up a little bit. Let me just quickly get those up. Pedro. So yeah, looking at these fixtures here, they've got Forest this week. I don't think it's an easy fixture as people are potentially suggesting. Obviously, Forest are currently third for projected goal involvements. Chelsea, I don't really know how to call that game. Brighton could very easily win that one. Same with the Spurs one, and maybe with them having home advantage could be decent. Newcastle away, again, I don't really know how to call it. Wolves at home, good fixture. Then it's Liverpool City. So it's probably not until game week 12 that I realistically would want somebody like João Pedro for my team personally, because there's just so many like iffy games. There's not 100% like guaranteed games during that run-in. So yeah, that would probably be my thoughts on him. DCL is going to be fine. Yeah, he's recovered from the illness he had. Captain Watkins definitely could be a shout this week. You know, Wolves have looked absolutely abysmal. So yeah. Have Tavernier over Semenyo. Now, Semenyo, I feel, has the more goal threat. Definitely has the more goal threat and has looked the better player over the opening couple game weeks. I think Tavernier is just due. And it was just purely down to the price. Like, 0.2 million out for Semenyo. And 0.5 out for... 0.1, sorry, out for Thing. But yeah, Semenyo is also a really good shout. But as you can see, Tavernier's got better, not only 0.1 better expected goal involvement so far this season. And in that Chelsea game, Tavernier looked the better option. Semenyo had a really quiet game and definitely a drop-off. But as we can see, his minutes are definitely secured. So yeah, if you've got the budget, I probably would say Semenyo. If you're looking maybe for a differential, Tavernier. And then obviously if you haven't got the budget, Kluivert. But it is those minutes that do scare me with Kluivert. They really do. But it wouldn't surprise me to see him go and pop off against Southampton and Leicester now. It would be so typical, wouldn't it? It would be so typical. But yeah, unfortunately we can't get to Tavernier, or he would have been in the side this week. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go with Sharda, which I don't hate. That was always the original plan, so I'm not hating on that idea either. Which two should I bench? Greaves plus Keane or Saliba plus Bodegaard? I probably would say bench Greaves and Keane. I think Keane's picked up a knock, you know. So yeah, just be wary of that one. Make sure you are liking today's stream, guys. If you are enjoying it, VJ's got the right idea. Have you all liked it yet? It does push it out to more people, and that is what we're looking for. What's your overall points? Not good. Not good. Like we're genuinely having a terrible start. This is the worst start I've ever made. That's why we've been forced into a wild card this week. So yeah. But yeah, this is the team. I'm quite happy with it. I think there's a few people that could be potential risks of rotation. It is Vardy, it is Sharda, and it is Rodgers. But everybody else for me feels pretty settled, and I'm quite liking them. Do I reckon João Pedro will play? We already spoke about this one. I feel like they're either going to play him on, or he's not going to be in the squad completely. Just over some of the kind of things. A lot of defensive work. Tavernier and Cliver were more advanced, as were their chances, but Semenyo gets the 90s. Yeah, it is really a difficult one. Vardy or DCL, we've had this one quite a few times. It looks like Vardy is better for projected points. The projected goal involvements are slightly favouring Leicester as well, so probably there. What transfers did I make? This is a wild card, mate. This is a wild card. Should I start Semenyo versus Liverpool, or maybe bench him and choose an alternative? My alternates are Harwood, Bellis, and Enzo. I'd probably gamble him and I'd play him. I'd gamble and play him. FPL Diamond, what's going on, man? Hope you're good. Hope you're good. I'm torn between Bailey and Mbeumo from game week 6. Bailey frees up more funds. I would be going for Mbeumo. I'd be going for Mbeumo. Should I keep Madueke or sell for game week 6? I would keep him. I'd keep him. I'm not having triple Everton, and I don't want double Everton attack. That's just not going to happen. And Sharda has the potential to be playing up front with Visca's injury, so there's more upside in that move. And also, McNeil has 0 goal threat. It is all unexpected assists. Do I think Pedro starts? It's one of those. I feel they'll risk him or they won't risk him. The comments yesterday were, yeah, he's back in training, great, but they're not going to take any gambles on him. So, yeah, judge that how you want to judge that. No McNeil will regret that, trust me. Would you take a punt on Delap versus Southampton? No. His data has been absolutely woeful. Genuinely terrible. So yeah, I would not be looking at Delap as a pick. Just the data's just not there. The only goal he scored this season was outside the box, and it was like a 25-yarder. I mean, if you've got 9 million in the bank, then probably Watkins is going to be your best bet. Calvert-Lewin or Vardy are probably the other ones as well. Like, share, subscribe, support your quality channel as you continue to get brilliant content on a consistent basis. Well, I appreciate that one, man. And yeah, if you are new around here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure as well you are liking the stream. Like I said, it does push it out to more people, and that is what we want. Again, we're getting more questions on João Pedro, so I'm going to get the quote back up. This was what was said yesterday. João Pedro will train today, meaning yesterday, with a late decision on his involvement still to be made. We won't take any risks, but he will be part of training. And there were pictures of him involved in training. Again, though, like if they're not going to take any risks. So he's either going to be in the squad or he's not going to be in the squad. That's my opinion on that one. So yeah. There you go. Will Alisson play? Again, he has a tight groin, I believe. So there is the potential that he definitely could play. They've not 100% ruled him out. There's just a doubt around it. And I feel with it being quite a nice home fixture, they might not take any gambles on that one. Boom, boom, boo-do-do-do-do. Remember, guys, if you do want your team rating, we'll be doing those around about 9 o'clock. So make sure you're getting that sent in on Twitter at FPLTom_. How did you decide on Aina? I landed on Moreno since he got more attacking, but I guess maybe he's not as established in the squad. Exactly that reason. Genuinely exactly that reason. Aina has played the last 3. Moreno's only played 1. So that was kind of the conclusion I came to with that one. But yeah. I'm just trying to have a think if there is a way we could get Tavernier in here. And there is one way that has just come to my mind. It is if we replace Robertson with Porro. It's not the dumbest idea I've ever had. Let's have a look at that. So, what's he projected to get over the next 3? Because realistically, that's where I would be. So, Robertson is 14.4. 11.5. It's just not as good, is it? It just isn't as good. And the United and Brighton fixtures don't fill me with joy. They just don't. Who is the best defender over the next few weeks? It just is Robertson, isn't it? It just is Robertson. There's no one else on here that is worth maybe taking a gamble on either. Alright, well that's killed that idea off pretty quickly. White, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mazwari. Should I sell White and go for a low centre-back like Aina Robertson and go for a better solid mid? There's definitely some great fixtures coming up for Arsenal, so I probably wouldn't recommend selling him off. Is Edouard back for Leicester? Yeah, he's back, but if you read the press conference notes from Cooper's press conference, he says, yep, he will be competing within the squad. However, he's been really impressed with Jamie Vardy in his start to the season. So I think Vardy is still going to be the #1 striker. And he also said they signed Edouard not just to play as a striker. They like his versatility across the front. So again, that bodes quite well for Jamie Vardy. How do you think Palace versus United will go? Have Eze, Mazwari and Fass. Well, Fass doesn't play for thingy, but needs to play 2. Thinking of Eze and Fast. I mean, Mazwari's been quite attacking. I think I'd probably go for him. Yeah, I'd probably go that way. But then they are playing Everton. But then at the same time, they've been very leaky. You know what? Yeah, I probably would go Isaiah Fass, actually. Yeah. Salah, Sade, Isak, or Saka, Eze, Wood. Probably Saka, Eze, Wood. What's your thoughts on Mazwari on future fixtures, or I swap him for Aina? Yeah, I don't really like the United defence yet. I'm still not a big fan of it. And if we interestingly, we head over to, please be that one. Boom. The 11-5 projected clean sheet data for the next few weeks, it really doesn't fancy United to do quite well. It is game week 8 where United's fixtures do take a big turn. So that is probably the point I would be looking at, obviously jumping on Manchester United assets. Up until that point, for me, it is not worth any sort of consideration. So yeah, there you go. Would you swap Robertson for Gabriel in game week 6 or game week 7, or not worth it? I think game week 6 would be the week that I'd do it. KDB, Smith Rowe and Robinson, or should I start and who to first bench? KDB. I mean, KDB's a doubt for the game. So I'd start him, and if he doesn't obviously feature, then that kind of makes your decision up for you. Tom, what team do you support in real life? I support Mansfield Town. So yeah. Oh, we've got a new channel member. Welcome, Mark. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the FPL Tom fan pack. Of course, all the other channel members, please go and give Mark some love and welcome him to the unofficial name, the Soggy Biscuit Club. But that's just what the members call themselves. I'm not getting involved with that bit. Who would you keep in your team for long term, Isak or Pedro? I think João Pedro just because of the price he is. Start Munoz or Davis. Trusting Palace seems silly, but against United, I probably would say Davis. That fixture is why you've got him. Select free Semenyo or Mitoma or Jean-Louis. Select 3 and then you put like 8 different options. Best projected midfielders, please. We'll take a look at that in a second. Should I sell Salah to Haaland in game week 6? Maybe not. Maybe not. Thoughts on West Ham versus Chelsea. Got Madueke and Kilman. Wondering what's the better option this weekend. Probably would be Madueke. West Ham clean sheet data here, 18%, so yeah. Gabriel or Robinson this game week. I probably would play Gabriel. The Robinson data is not too much too dissimilar, so not worth doing it. Sell Isaac or Muniz for DCL. It's got to be Muniz with him not even starting games. Thoughts on Raul Jimenez. Again, 1 or 2 couple bad games and Muniz could be very, very much back in. Do you prefer Chris Wood or DCL as a long-term third option? I'd prefer DCL, to be honest. I prefer DCL. Right, I believe this should be the correct one. It is. It is the projected points for the next few weeks. So obviously somebody asked me about midfielders. Which ones should they be looking at? Palmer, Saka, Eze, Foden, all great shouts. Son may be a differential shout with some decent fixtures coming up for Spurs as well. And Buemo's definitely got to be a player I would be considering going forward. Bowen could be an interesting shout for the next few weeks as well. So there's a couple decent ones kicking about in there. There really, really is a couple decent shouts. Make sure you get your questions in, guys. Make sure you're liking today's stream as well, as it does help support the channel. On a wildcard, considering a Gakpo punt for 2 weeks, then switching in for Haaland in game week 7. Thoughts? I think probably not. I just think it's just such a big gamble and a big risk. And Liverpool have got a Carabao Cup game midweek, and it could very easily be he starts this game and then the Carabao Cup game and is completely benched. See, I don't like that as a punt. Play an early wildcard, is it good or should I hold it? I mean, it's entirely team dependent. My team just needed it, and I needed it to be able to catch a lot of the price rises for the players that I wanted on a 6 wildcard. So again, it's all team dependent. Vissa to DCL, then bench Saka or just leave the transfer. Do you have Pedro as a risk? I mean, if I've got João Pedro, I'm probably going to make that move then. I'm probably going to make that move. I'll watch all day your stream. Cheers, bro. I appreciate that one. Robinson or Aina? I probably would go Robinson. I think their clean sheet data is projected to be a bit better. So, yeah, I'd probably go with that one. Probably would go with that one. Make sure you're keeping your questions coming in, guys. Make sure you're liking the stream as well. My dad just said, what about dropping your goalkeeper? I mean, we do have Raya, but it's the way I want into that Arsenal defence. Like, I do want, like, I do want Raya, but if I was to do it, I could drop him down to, like, a Flecken. I could drop him down to a Flecken. We'd have 1.5, and then I could get Gabriel instead of Robertson, and maybe, like, a 5, but, nah, I don't think there's a way to do it, and I want an Arsenal defender, and Raya's the cheapest way in. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be worth it for Tavernier. Will Jota start? A lot of the big accounts are predicting Jota not to start, so maybe not. Bench Ahmed or Greaves? Probably Greaves. I'd back Ahmed to start. Again, a lot of the United accounts are predicting him to start, so we'll go with that. Who's the early kickoff? It is Chelsea versus West Ham. So not the best early kickoff we've ever had. Any sort of early team news? Nothing as of yet. I mean, if I was going to take the -4, maybe it could have just been wildcard in this week rather than delaying it a week if it was going to cost you a -4. Oh, we'll definitely hit 10k soon, man. I really appreciate those positive comments as well. It's nice to get some positive comments. The people on the YouTube videos sometimes, there's just some strange people out there. Really, really is. Should I start Smith Rowe, Rodgers, or DCL? DCL 100%. Tom, morning. I'm on a wild card. Would you have Watkins and Rodgers or Solanke and Sabitslai? I would prefer to have Watkins and Rodgers, but I like the Solanke shout. I do like the Solanke shout. Should I bench João Pedro or just play him? Again, it depends who you're benching him for. It's not an easy fixture as being made out to be either. Forest are the third best team so far this season for XG conceded and also had really, really good data from last year as well. Hey Tom, any defender you would swap Munoz out for under 5.6? Who's worth a transfer? Don't really like anyone for this week. Probably Porro at 5.5 maybe. But let's have a quick look because it is an area I'm potentially considering as well. So 5.6. Maybe a gamble on Urian. Like, genuinely, it could be a huge gamble, but Urian Timber could be a gamble. Porro, we've spoke about at 5.6 now. And then, yeah, we're really starting to flag off at that point, are we? We're starting to head into this 4.4 and 4.5 million ballpark. So, yeah, that's probably where my head would be at with that one, mate. All the other channel members, welcome in, Mark. Love that. Love that. Who do I bench? Semenyo, Pedro, Welbeck, or Rogers? Probably going to be João Pedro, with him being the biggest doubt out of all of those. Should we see Foden as a good differential for someone like Saka game week 6 onwards? I mean, you want realistically Saka for that game week 6 to 8 run, but I definitely think Foden will start to emerge as a really good option. Again, that's why I like this free premium midfield structure, or like 2 in midfield, should I say, because it is giving me an opportunity to, of course, go and have a little bit of fun with Foden. Who are the best cheap defenders? I'm guessing you mean 4 million defenders, and for me personally, probably is going to be somebody like Greaves or Bednarek. So, yeah. FPL Tom really doesn't like Chelsea. Not really. It's just too much of a rotation risk. Not worth going for. Should I swap White to Gabriel on next game week? I probably wouldn't waste a transfer on it. Like, it is what it is. Unless it's allowing you to fund further moves further down the line, then, yeah, it's not worth it. Isak out or stay? I think with Eddie Howe's notorious ability to lie, I probably would say get him out. Would you still play Greaves if you had Fast on the bench? I would look at clean sheet percentages, and I think for me, with me having DCL, that doesn't make sense. So no, but if I didn't have DCL, then probably yes, because I believe Leicester have the better clean sheet percentage chance this week. Robinson, Dunk, or Lewis on the bench. Cheers, guys. I probably would say I'd play Robinson and Dunk. Lewis could do something, but he could also be very easily benched with him starting midweek. Should I get Raya for Henderson, or should I get Gabriel for another defender? I don't really like wasting goalkeeper transfers, but it is the cheapest way into that Arsenal back line, so Raya one could be decent. Pedro to Calvert-Lewin, yeah, that makes sense to me. Who should I bench? Rogers, ESR, Wood, or Saka? Probably going to be between Wood, ESR, and Rogers for me. Any info on Alisson? No, we've not had any further updates on Alisson besides what was said, obviously, yesterday as well. Would you start Lewis or Robinson? I'm streaming as well. Very nice FPL advice. I would probably say... I'd probably say Robinson unless we get decent City team news, but we're not going to get any of that. So, yeah, probably Robertson. Jota out. Yeah, he probably will be a player that I would be looking to start to shift on with those unsecure minutes at the moment. When are you doing team reviews? We will be doing team reviews at 9 o'clock. So make sure you're getting your team sent to me at FPLTom_. Leave it under my pin tweet and, yeah, we'll get those reviewed. I don't have any great subs if Pedro's not going to start. Bednarek is my first option. Bednarek's fine. Like, it's probably one of the only fixtures you feel probably comfortable enough to play him in. I have a 5.5 for a midfielder on a wildcard. Who do I bring in? If you can bench them this week, then maybe you would go for somebody like Kluivert. Not Kluivert. What's the guy's name? Tavernier, whose date has been absolutely exceptional. Dwight McNeil's also an option people are potentially floating around. You've got Rogers. You've also got Ahmed, but he's probably a bit of a minutes gamble, to be honest. Bailey could get a price rise after a drop and play and do well today. Find room for Bailey maybe after today. Maybe. Again, though, it's just it's just the minutes, isn't it? And UCL football. Start Robinson or Welbeck. Ooh, I think I'd go. I think I'd go Welbeck. I think I'd go Welbeck on that one. Sell Haaland for Salah this week and wildcard next week, or should I wildcard this week to get both? Maybe unless you're being priced out of moves, maybe wildcard. But I think next week's probably the bigger. We'll have a lot more data to work with next week. So yeah. Is Muniz a keep? No, Muniz is definitely a sell. Get rid of Muniz. You are not a member, but you are new here. Can you do a crazy and rate my team? I don't do ID ratings. I just do, if you want to send me on Twitter, leave it under my most recent tweet and we'll do it. Semenyo okay to play unless you've obviously got nothing else, then yeah, but I imagine he'll probably be playing a little more of a defensive role today. Ahmed or Saka to start? I probably would still start Saka. You are one of the best FPL streamers. Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that one. I really appreciate that. Start Wood or DCL? I probably would back DCL this week. When benching someone, is it the fixture or form you base it off? For example, benching Rodgers or Saka this week. I think there's multiple factors really. And it's the team they play for, it's the fixture, obviously the form, projected points come into my thought process as well. Obviously looking at the betting data, seeing maybe which team has better projected goal numbers for that week. So yeah. Bro, you know that dance is just reserved for special moments, and we're yet to have one this season. As soon as we have a decent moment, we'll get some dancing going again. Diego to Mbeumo this week or hold till next week? I think I'd only do it this week unless, if we got early team news that he was definitely out. Who do you think is the perfect replacement for Kwanzaa? Maybe somebody like Mikalenko. The Everton fixtures, right, are a joke. And once Branthwaite is back, let me get these up here. Look at that. That's realistically probably Leicester you want to play in, Palace, Newcastle, Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, United and Wolves. You're realistically probably going to hold him up till the 7th of December. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Any news about Watkins or João Pedro? I mean, the news from yesterday, these are the quotes we got yesterday in the pressers. So Howard said he took a knock to his foot and they're going to make a decision on it. And João Pedro, very same. He's back in training, but again, they're going to make a late decision on it. So there you go. Dunk or Sharda this week for a 3-5-2. I probably would play Dunk over Sharda this week. Who is the best 5 million mid for game week 7? Jesus. There's not really a lot of quality in those positions. So yeah, it's hard to really call on that one. Maybe if he sees good minutes over the next few, Cavallero for Brentford could be a shout. But again, we need to see decent minutes before that happens. I think people are sleeping on Szoboszlai. I prefer him to Jota Diaz, especially with the price. Though Rodri's kind of tempting at the same price. Don't go near Rodri. Don't go near Rodri. What are you doing? What do you think about Onana? So far, a goal in every other game. Due a goal today. It's just not for me personally. I just don't. Yeah, if you watch the way he plays and watch the way that Villa set up, it's not from open play. It's from set pieces. And trying to determine where he is going to score in a set piece game is hard. It is hard. It's very similar to when people own James Ward-Prowse. He might plonk a free kick in against Liverpool where you've benched him. But the games against Southampton and Leicester where he's just null and void. That's it, innit? And Mbeumo, Lewis, Greaves, Pedro start 2. I probably would go Greaves and Mbeumo. Should I start Vardy and DCL or start Watkins? Probably Watkins and Vardy are probably going to be your best 2 shouts there. Isak to Watkins, yeah, that makes sense for me. Is Rodgers a hold? Yes, I would say so. I said back to my team. Keep the questions coming in, guys. Keep the likes coming in as well. Massively appreciate everybody in today's stream. You've been absolute legends so far as well. What do you think about wildcarding in game week 6? Yeah, I'm a fan of the wildcard in game week 6. I'm a fan of it. I don't think that guy is 100% nailed. I expect him to play today, and they usually play him when they play the 5-back. However, when Brentford are being more attacking and go to that 4-3-3, not as nailed. I meant for a sub 5 million fit. Again, maybe Cavallero, like if he sees decent minutes. But other than that, we're not really blessed with options. Maybe a Dharma. Yeah, it's a tough one. Any idea if Rico Lewis will start? No idea at all, to be honest, mate. Start Lewis or Gavadio? I'd expect Gavadio definitely to play this game, so I probably would start him over it. Yeah, a template will definitely start to form. A template always starts to form, and I feel we'll start to build a better picture of which players people want. Like, already template players for that week are going to be Haaland, Saka, and Buemo. Probably a Gabriel, a Saliba, a Raya, Konza, a Watkins, a DCL. Like, they're probably already going to be start to become template. Can Maddison be a differential game week 7? He could, but again, I need to see more from him before I go near there. Watkins is new. He very easily could be. He could be. Opinions on Schmodix at 6 million? No, his data's pants. He's actually not even 4.5. He's 4.4, and I do consider it because the 11-5 data has Everton as one of the best teams over the next few weeks for clean sheet percentages. It also, they've not got Branthwaite back. They get Branthwaite back. Watch the clean sheet start to flood in. Trust me. Here's a tough one. Maybe start Duran or Adama. I mean, I don't expect Duran to start. And Andy will probably back me up with this in the chat. I know he's a Villa fan. But I don't expect Duran to start. But he has been mesmeric. But can he continue to do that off the bench? Maybe. Maybe not. Would you take Solanke or Nicholas Jackson long term? I would probably take Solanke. Rodgers looks overrated. McNeil or Semeno today, given his last chance. Yeah, the Bournemouth next two after that could be decent ones to obviously hop onto. Planning to change White to Gabriel, and should I get a 5 mil mid or a 4.5 million defender? Probably another 4.5 million defender that can rotate around with the other ones. Gvardiol to Robertson. Yeah, it's not the worst one. I probably would start João Pedro. I feel he's either going to be in the squad or not playing at all. Moneymate, can you show the clean sheet percentages for this week? Of course I can. Let's head over to the Rob T FPL data. So Liverpool top with a 40% chance. Brighton, City and Villa with a 34% chance. Then it's Tottenham with a 31% chance as well. So the clean sheets, not really fancied this week, to be honest. I don't know. I don't 100% know about Jota. Some of the predicted lineups have Darwin starting over the head. So, yeah, it's going to be a wild one. Any idea if Isak starts and Muniz? I'd probably say Muniz is definitely not going to start the game. With him starting midweek in the Carabao, yeah, I'd put that one down as a doubt. Why no Rico Lewis in your wildcard? Minutes risk. There you go. Plain and simple, minutes risk for me. Konza, João Pedro and Isak pick one. Probably Konza because I know he's at least going to play. Is Rodgers or Sharda a better option? Sharda's a complete gamble, and I'm not going to say to you guys join me on the Sharda train. He is a gamble. 100% a huge gamble, and it might not pay off. Is Trent too expensive for a defender? No. If he starts picking up some attacking returns with that data that he's got, then he won't be too expensive. Start Semeno or João Pedro in case Pedro makes a bench appearance. I don't think he will make a bench appearance. I think he'll either be in the squad or he won't be. Yeah, due to Jack Stevens getting a red, I would suggest Harwood Bellis could start this game. Do I start Eze? Yeah, probably would. Every Palace attack goes through him, so yeah. Would you prefer Mikalenko over Aina with the same price? Aina's actually gone up now. He's at 4.5 million. And I probably would say longer term, the fixtures are better for Mikalenko. However, Forest's expected goal data has been marvellous so far this season. So Aina's probably the better pick looking at that. Would you rather go DCL or Vardy? Longer term DCL, shorter term probably Vardy. Just made 2 transfers to be safe. Isak and Pedro out. Solanke and Calvert-Lewin in. I do like both of those. Palmer, Saka or Son long term. I mean, Saka, realistically, if you look at FPL Reviews predicted points for 6-7, he is the highest projected. So could be a decent captaincy option during that one as well. What to do with Semenyo? I probably would say if I've got benchable options, bench him. If not, go for it, play him. If Alisson's out, you never know what could happen at Anfield. I probably would say unless we get team news that Jota's not going to be playing, I probably would make the move next week. How can I get my team rated? If you want to send it on Twitter at FPLTom_, leave it under one of my most recent tweets and we'll get round to doing those. It has just gone 9 o'clock, so we're going to obviously head over to Twitter and start reviewing some of your guys' teams. We've had a decent amount in already. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody that has sent the teams over this morning. Weirdo. Hey, Tom, 1 transfer and 0 clue what to do. 0.6 million in the bank. My gut says roll for and hope for the best with Isak. I think if I was in this position, I would go for Watkins. If I've got that money in the bank, I think I would go Isak to Watkins. I just would. Now, you could go for Vardy or DCL as well, who could also be good shouts. But, yeah, I genuinely think I probably would just either go Watkins, Vardy or DCL. That'd be my plan. Luke, his team's up. It's not the worst in the world. There are a few issues minutes-wise. Ahmed, Minter, Isak, Diego, Jota could all be rotation risks today. Who have you got on the bench, Luke? João Pedro, Munoz. You've got a bit of bench cover potentially to cover it, but again, we've got another player. So yeah, this team could be dicey. Could be dicey if there's a few bench-ins. Just be wary of that one. Did a -4, I think, game week 6 wildcard. Yeah, I probably would say a game week 6 wildcard for this team. Obviously, you've got... I probably would put Gvardiol ahead of Winks. Winks has 0 attacking output. Watch him score today now, but yeah. Have 2 free transfers, 0.4 million in the bank. I think I'm going to stick with this, but have a few doubts. No, if you've got 2 free transfers, I'd just hold it. Hold it for this week. Move to next week with 3. Then you can go and get the Arsenal boys. Do a little bit of a mini wild card with your free transfers. Next team up. Beltman's an interesting shout. Who's on your bench? Cons are on the bench. Oof. Oof. Yeah. An interesting one. I would rather play Isak over João Pedro. I feel if he's not going to be fit and available, he'll not be in the squad. I have 0.2 million in the bank and 1 free transfer. I think we need to wait and see with Havertz because purely we don't know what role he's going to be playing now that Odegaard's picked up that injury. Plan 2, Salah to Saka, Rodgers to Mbeumo, Burn to Konate. I don't like Konate as a pick. I think he could see minutes dropped. So yeah, I'm not 100% convinced on either plan, to be honest. Salah to Saka and Rodgers to Mbeumo, yeah. And I like the João Pedro and Vardy bit, so probably plan 2. And then this week, Rodgers, Eze, Wood or João Pedro to bench. I probably would say with the uncertainty around João Pedro, I probably would bench him. Two free transfers, 0.9 no, not even 0 in the bank. Thoughts on Muniz? Not going to start realistically, so I might have to wildcard a week earlier than I wanted. I mean, you've got money in the bank, right? So you could do Muniz down to a Vardy or a DCL, and then Isak to. Can you afford Watkins there? Probably not. I think you could get away with transfers. I genuinely think you could get away with just using one transfer. Maybe take Muniz out for Calvert-Lewin and hope Isak starts. I think you could hold that wild card off for another week. This guy, what a weirdo. Yeah, whatever. You get limited reviews for being a weirdo. Morning, Tom. After seeing the clean sheet percentages, gone with this. Love the big four with the smaller three backup. Rodgers' time will come with 5 defenders. Rotation feels the best way to attack this game week. Yeah. I think that's completely fine, mate. I do feel that's completely fine. Very nice team there, Tim. Hey, man, I have 1 free transfer. Don't know what to do. Also, what about the benching? I mean, one of my transfers probably would be to take Isak or João Pedro out. They're both doubts for this game, and I feel like rather than, save myself a headache, João Pedro to DCL could be a very easy long-term move. So, yeah, that's fine. Isak to Watkins as well, if you've got a little bit of money in the bank, could also be a great move to do. Done Isak to DCL, leaves 3.5 million in the bank and 2 transfers for Arsenal players next week, unless there's an obvious transfer. Then that's fine. I like that. I do like that. We'll do some more team reviews in a little while, guys, so make sure you are getting those sent over. Obviously, if your team didn't appear there, make sure you are following me on Twitter, because sometimes it doesn't always pull through. So, yeah, make sure you are following me. Not FPL Tom legend. No, not FPL Tom is a dick. We're not giving that guy credit. What should be Jake? Jake hasn't got the sophistication to set up a second Twitter account. Should I captain Palmer, Son, or Vardy? I probably would be tempted with either Palmer or Son. And looking at the projected data for this week, the projected goals are decent for Spurs, so maybe Son could be a shout. Big claim that, Andy. Big claim that one, man. How can I show you my team? If you want to send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_, leave it under one of my most recent tweets. Make sure you are dropping me a follow as well over on Twitter, because sometimes it doesn't quite pull through. Do I bench Lewis and Gvardiol for Robertson, Trent and Porro? Ooh, I probably would say I'd play Gvardiol over Robinson, but yeah, Trent and Porro should definitely be playing. Not FPL Tom is never going to be a co-host on this stream. Never, ever, ever. Do you think Alisson will play? We don't have any more information. We will be just purely waiting for team leaks. Again, same with João Pedro. He was in training yesterday, but they're not going to take any risks. So again, I don't really want to call whether or not he is going to play. Isak to Vardy or somebody else like DCL. I feel Vardy might be a little bit more of a short term. DCL probably the better longer term pick there. Should I captain Palmer, Gibbs, White, McNeil or Watkins? Probably out of all of those two, Watkins and Palmer, they have the ability to go and get mega hauls for me. So yeah, it probably would be Palmer or Watkins. And I think I probably would prefer Watkins. Do keep those questions coming in, guys. Keep the likes coming in as well. You've been absolutely immense in today's stream. Keep your questions coming in, obviously, as well. And then we'll do some more team reviews as well. Will Mansfield win? We have a very good percentage chance of winning this week. Obviously, if anybody plays Fantasy EFL, you know I am a little bit of a nerd with that and do all the kind of looking at the betting data and stuff like that. And yeah, it looks like we should win this week. And if we want to stay up this season, we need to be beating teams like Shrewsbury at home. Had a big game last week against Cambridge at home. We won it. Again, these are the games we need to be winning if we want to pull away from that relegation zone and by the end of the season. So, yeah. Should I transfer out João Pedro for Calvert-Lewin as João Pedro is a risk? Yeah, I think that would be the move that I would make if I had João Pedro this week. Who should I replace Alisson with? I don't really like making goalkeeper transfers. What's up, Tom? Back again. Very nice. Thank you for coming back. Start Pedro or Bednarek. I'd take the gamble on Pedro. Who is the first choice goalkeeper? It is Verbergen for Brighton. Isak to Welbeck and Watkins to Calvert-Lewin. I don't like that -4. I don't like that as a -4, to be honest. Yeah, Watkins won't get the same amount of assists again, will he? George, we know you're a nerd, mate. Bro, I'm the biggest nerd going. Who would you start this week, Robinson or Colwell? I probably... Again, let's go back to the clean sheet data because that is the kind of the where I base a lot of my things off. And it probably, looking at that, would be Colwell. So yeah, probably would be Colwell on that one, mate. Again, if anybody's got these tight decisions around defenders, my recommendation, unless they're an attacking defender, like say like a Porro, where I would feel probably a little bit bad benching him with low clean sheet odds, I'd probably say come to this, look at the clean sheet percentages, see where maybe some teams are close, and if maybe there's like a complete disparity, then I'd go for the one with the bigger ones. Which position do I play? I do not play football. I don't play football. I haven't played football since I was like 16. Which midfielders do you look out for? I reckon there could be some really interesting ones coming up in the next few weeks. Obviously the two Bournemouth fixtures, 6 and 7, definitely worth some consideration. We've also got to obviously talk about, you know, McNeil being in there, Saka obviously with the Arsenal ones as well. The City midfielders, I reckon Foden's going to start entering people's thought processes as well. Is there a world where you see Mansfield being promoted to the Prem? Not realistically. I absolutely love our owners. They are the best people in the world. They are what you want, really. You know, they care about the club. They put money in. They make sure that everyone is doing good. But they're not smart football people. We've made a lot of dumb decisions, and that's probably what kept us in League 2 for a number of years. I feel if we were ever to make the Premier League, we'd have to switch to a more like Brentford-based model and like just use data recruitment and stuff like that. That's the only way we're going to get there. Because at the moment, we're not geared up like that. And there's just teams with bigger budgets and better players. Like, I think we could get to the Championship within a few seasons if we kind of solidify in League 1 for a couple of years, start to build a really, really decent side and then push on to the Championship. Premier League, probably a little bit too much of a stretch. But you never know, Ipswich made it, so let's see. Miracles have happened before. Gvardiol or Fast? I probably would still play Gvardiol for this one. Who's the better long-term pick out of Palmer and Saka? Probably going to be Saka on that one. Watkins or Haaland as captain this week? I would probably say I'd maybe take the gamble on Watkins this week. Should I transfer out Semenyo? No, they've got really nice fixtures coming up for the next 2 weeks after this one, so I probably would keep them. Morning, Tom. Is Rodgers going to play? Yeah, I probably would. Captain Solanke or Trent? I think with the Alisson injury, I probably would be more tempted with Solanke. However, Brentford are notoriously well set up team. 5 at the back. Concede very limited opportunities. Yeah, George. I believe you, mate. I believe you, mate. Whatever gets you through the day, man. Whatever gets you through the day. So am I, man. So am I. Yeah, congratulations to everyone who's liked the stream. You're absolute legends. Well done, guys. Isak and Smith Rowe to Watkins and Rodgers. I don't hate those moves. I really, really don't hate those moves. I have Isak and João Pedro and no transfers. Who do I start? I probably would say João Pedro just because we've seen him pictured in training. 4.5 million defender, Aina, Mikolenko, Konza. There's some names off the top of my head that you probably should be looking at. Yeah, DCL's fine. DCL's fine. They've said like everyone's recovered from the illness, so I'm not 100% sure why he's still got the flag, to be honest. Who should I put in on the bench? Konza or Dunk? Probably... Ooh, again, I'd look at those clean sheet percentages we just had up on screen a second ago. Best replacement for Jota if he doesn't start this week? Probably going to be an Embuemo longer term, isn't it? Bro went against the grain. Wolves looking better in attack. 4 big games coming up for Strand Larson. Will be a star. Not yet for me. Not yet. The fixtures just aren't there. They're just not there. If Haaland scored a hat-trick today, everyone will regret it. I mean, he won't score a hat-trick today because he plays tomorrow. Hey, Louis, how's it going, man? Any news on if Madueke is playing? Nothing as of yet. Nothing as of yet. But I'll drop you a snap if I hear anything. Should I start Mikalenko for Robinson? I think, yeah, they're better predicted clean sheets. And as long as you've not got a Vardy, then you'll be fine. If I roll the transfer this week and wildcard next week, how many transferred would I get in game week 7? It now has the ability to roll those transfers in. So you would have, you roll in this week. So you'd have 1, 2. You'd have 2. There you go. Best midfielders under 9.5. I think Foden's got to start entering that conversation if he looks good tomorrow. Yeah, Aina was 4.4 yesterday. And then, obviously, yeah, good stuff. How are you doing, Tom? Outside of FPL, you all right, mate? Yeah, I'm decent. I'm decent, you know. It's been an interesting few months, but we've got some big stuff coming up. Obviously, we've got Sweden next weekend, so there will be no deadline stream. We will be out in Sweden, me and Sean. If you haven't checked out the second channel, one of the moderators will put the second channel link in the chat. We're going back to Sweden. We're going out for the Stockholm Derby as well, so we're gonna go and enjoy that. So that'll be a video out on the second channel, and then there's some stuff coming up in October that can't say yet, but it's tasty. It's tasty. Let's put it up there. Tom, help me out with my FPL draft. My strikers are Isaac, João Pedro, and DCL. Need to start 2. My other bench are Romero, Saliba, if you consider one of them. Yeah, I probably would say Romero. Like, the clean sheet odds for Spurs aren't that bad, are they? Start Lewis or Robinson. Probably would play Robinson. Brighton and Villa have the same clean sheet percentages. Nice. Maybe look at the 11-ify models. João Pedro to DCL or Isaac to Watkins. I think the Isaac to Watkins one could have bigger upside this week. So I probably would do that one. What a legend, George. Thank you for sending the second channel link in the chat. Appreciate that one, mate. The second channel is in the chat, and it is just my name. So yeah, just go and check that out. We've already had one basically absolutely mega video on there that slapped the last time we went out to Sweden. So if you enjoy, like, I'd probably say it's like an away day style. Probably just, you know, just 2 lads going out enjoying the football. And yeah, hopefully it continues, man. Hopefully it continues. I feel that does have the potential as well, longer term, to be the bigger channel than this one. Just if, like, we continue to get the amazing views. So, yeah. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Nah, yeah, I know. Sorry, no deadline stream next week from me, but I'll speak to Golden and I'll see if he's doing one. If Golden Goal Fantasy Football is doing one, he also starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, so get yourself along to his deadline stream. If obviously, you know, I'm not available next week, so yeah, get yourself over to that one. Of course, though, guys, we will be back after that though for good times. When is not non-FPL Tom getting on the second channel? Never. Cunha differential. Again, I'm not looking at Wolves assets till 10. I feel we've had quite a few questions about Wolves. So let me just quickly grab their fixtures up real quick. Cunha, let's have a look. So here's the fixtures for the next few weeks and why I probably wouldn't be looking at 10. Villa away, not a great fixture. Liverpool at home, not a great fixture. Brentford away, not a great fixture. City and Brighton. It is probably not going to be here till game week 10 where I'm going to consider them. Palace, Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham and Ipswich is a fantastic run. So I would say maybe it's at this point we're going to be starting to look at people like Cunha, obviously 8 Nori, and the 5.5 million forward. This is where we're going to be looking at them game week 10 and beyond. These fixtures up until that point are just not worth it. They're just not worth it. There's better options to go for. DCL, Vardy, all have better fixtures across the week. And even like Vardy that... Look, here you go. You can literally probably do Vardy to Strand Larson. Everton, Arsenal need someone to bench him for that week, but it's Jamie Vardy. He could very easily score this against Arsenal. Then we've got Bournemouth, Southampton, Forest, Ipswich. Then you can move off him and move to somebody like a Strand Larson. So yeah, that's probably the move I would make there. Vardy's up to 11% owned. When did this happen? Jesus. Every man and the dog are bringing in Jamie Vardy this week, aren't they? That's a blank confirmed. 3.6 for DCL is quite nice. Sharda, has there been any movement on you, Sunshine? Still at 0.1, so that's a big differential. But yeah. Let's get back to the pick team. When Foden starts getting good minutes, do you think you can move away from Haaland? There is that potential. There genuinely is that potential because most weeks Foden was outscoring Haaland last week. Now, whether or not that's going to happen again this season, there's a lot on the line that might mean it won't happen again this season. Who says no to... The problem is it's not even a hotel stream. I will be flying, so I'll be in the air. So I just can't do anything, unfortunately. Otherwise... I would have found a way to stream. What two midfielders should I aim to get if I have Salah and Saka and Diaz? And Wemo. Definitely got to be on that consideration. Yeah, the wildcards this week, John. The team's gone to absolute mud, mate. So we've hit the wildcard button. Would have been priced out of a lot of moves as well. So we've made it. Looking to potentially bring in Foden over Saka on my wildcard. Maybe go no Liverpool defence and get Havertz striker. Would you have Salah, Haaland, Foden, Havertz? I like that. I really, really like that, George. That's a great shout. Bench one of Mbeumo, Eze, Rodgers, João Pedro. I think with João Pedro being flagged, it makes sense to go with that one. Captain Palmer or Watkins? I probably would say Watkins. Is it worth going for Everton defenders? I mean, the narrative is at the moment, and this is kind of it. You can't buy into narratives too much, is that Everton are bad. They're a terrible side. They've not got their best defender. They haven't got Jared Branthwaite. And literally the same thing happened the year Burnley got relegated. They didn't have Ben Mee. They didn't have Tarkowski and were terrible at the back, despite being, the season prior, one of the best defences. So, again... That's the way I do it. Like I feel like the clean sheet data is gonna come. It is gonna come. Am I wildcarding this week? Yeah, this is my wildcard team. Solanke or Vardy or DCL. Longer term, probably DCL and Solanke. Shorter term, Vardy could be a great pickup. Start free: Gabriel, Porro, Greaves, Robinson, Hall. Definitely wouldn't be playing Hall, so probably would be Gabriel, Porro, Greaves. Should I play Dunk over João Pedro? Yep. Yeah, if you send me a team on Twitter at FPLTom_, we'll get those reviewed. Vardy or DCL, I think both are great shouts. This week I probably would prefer going for Jamie Vardy. Vardy is the second most bought in player this week. Oh, you love to see it. I dropped Palmer just purely because we needed the wild card. Yeah, we just needed to wild card. And if you look at some of the data that he's been putting up this season so far, it's been pretty abysmal. Do you feel Havertz is still a better option than Solanke game week 6 onwards? We need to see what position he is playing. But yeah, we need to see what position he's going to be playing. Mateta and Watkins or Haaland and DCL? I probably would go Haaland and DCL. Would you buy Welbeck this week for Vardy or DCL? No, I wouldn't. I know they've looked good, but I'm expecting Welbeck to still start this week, and I don't know whether or not that's going to be worth the transfer. So, yeah. Also, why Greaves over Davis? Purely budget. We don't have anything left in the bank. We were trying to hope that Mikalenko got a price drop last night, so we could have made that move to go to, what's his name? Tavernier, but it wasn't to be. In your team, do you Robertson to Gabriel? That is one of the plans, but for now we're going to stick with Robertson all the way up until 8 and then see what the defensive situation is looking like. It could be that we do move for Porro at that point, with Spurs having a good set of fixtures. But yeah, it's keeping my options open. Other than Saka, what is the next best Arsenal attacker, since Havertz might play as a cam? I think that's it then, realistically. We're going to be struggling, aren't we, really? We're going to be struggling. What do you do for a living? I work in sports broadcasting. This isn't my full-time job. This is just a hobby. But yeah, my full-time job is I work in sports broadcasting. Yeah, make sure your team's locked in. I had an absolute stinker in the week, to be honest. I forgot to update my UCL fantasy team on Thursday, sorry. So, of course, we missed out on Averts, Grimaldo, and Yamal all picking up points. Play Sells or Henderson? I play Sells. I play Sells this week. I need 0.4 million more. Oof. Tom works hard getting us information. I do, bro. I do. You know, Andy, you're here a lot, man. I'm gonna make you a user. I'm gonna make you a moderator. You're here a lot. I appreciate the support you give as well. So there you go, man. There you go. Moderator, welcome. Thank you, George, for sorting the spam comments out, guys. I will get round to your question. I will get round to your question. Just please don't spam in the chat. Will you take Salah out when Liverpool fixtures are hard? This is the thing, right? And this is what I think some people might run into a few potential issues with. Is I think the Bournemouth fixture is fine, whatever. Wolves is a great fixture. Palace, the way they've started this season as well, is terrible. Then it's Arsenal and Chelsea and Brighton. That run of 3 does put me off a little bit. However, what's to stop Salah continuing to do as well as he has done? There's absolutely nothing. I think that run of 4 games, there definitely is some scope to maybe move away and take a look at other players. So it probably would be this point here, 8 and beyond, or maybe even 9 and beyond, because I'm not 100% convinced Chelsea at home is going to be a terrible fixture for Salah. So it would be the Arsenal, Brighton and Villa ones. Then I probably would want him back for Southampton. Probably going to be one of the best captaincy options that week. Then they've got City, Newcastle, Everton. So again, and then that run is ridiculous. So we probably would want to have him out between 9 and 11. And then 12 all the way probably up to 25. We want to have Salah in here. So yeah. I think he's just... There is definitely scope, but he could very easily pop off. Is having Calvert-Lewin and McNeil a good thing? No, I probably would say pick one or the other. Got both Pedro and Isak with a 4.5 million. I would probably say, yeah, Isak's not been pictured in training. If you can afford Watkins, that move makes sense to me this week. Tell us more about the sports broadcasting, mate. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about my job too much, but... yeah, that's it. I just work in sports broadcasting. João Pedro or Delap? Probably João Pedro. I would take the gamble on João Pedro. There's a risk Jota won't play. Not sure, but it's from a reliable source. Oh, where's this on Twitter, man? Where is this on Twitter? We'll take a look at some more teams in a second, guys. Leaked FPL team news. So look, see if there's anything here. Nothing as of yet. But we'll keep eyes out. Who was it that put it in? Bruh, George, come on, man. Should I replace Diaz and Jota, Bruno, or Smith Rowe? I would probably say if Jota's going to be benched, then yeah, it's probably going to be Jota. Start Saka or Gabriel, need to bench one. Probably would go for the defensive one then. If they get a jammy penalty, then Saka goal, isn't it, really? Yeah, they've said Watkins is fine. 100% available to play. Start Raya or Henderson. I would take a gamble on Raya. Could make plenty of saves and stuff like that. With Foden coming back, is Haaland still a lock, or would it be better to use the funds and boost the rest of the team around him? I tried to do that at the start of this season, and it's not really worked out. Hello, mate. Do you think I should play João Pedro or bench him over Smith Rowe? I would probably say bench him. Actually, no, I'd say gamble. I'd say play him, gamble with it, because he's either going to be in the starting 11 or he's not. Watkins, Solanke, Mateta. How does that sound for a front three? Sounds good, but there's no Haaland in there. And I think, realistically, Haaland is going to be the best captain from probably 7 onwards. Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth. That there is captaincy material every single week. Yeah, still nothing on that team news, though. Rodgers or Onana? Rodgers for me. I mean, it's Diego Jota. He very easily could get something off the bench. And it would not surprise me to see him maybe come on around the 60th minute. Start 3, Trent, Rico Lewis, Robinson, Livramento, Fass. I probably would go Trent, Fass, and then Robinson back the home team. Yeah, that's probably the way I'd go with that. That's probably the way I would go with that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any questions you do have, obviously, there's an echo all of a sudden. Any questions you do have, we will try to answer as many as we possibly can. There is still an hour and a half till, of course, the deadline does close. George, do you need my score predictions for this week, mate? I don't think I put them in the Discord earlier. But I'll get them sent in to you, mate, if you need them. Let me have a look. 24. Have 2 free transfers. We'll swap Salah to someone like Sancho and Watkins to Haaland in 7. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. Did Isak to Visser and Henderson to Alisson after the last of game week 4 was played? Unlucky for me, Visser has been ruled out for 2 months. Yeah, this is why you never make early transfers. It never really works out. I'm thinking of getting rid of Isak for Watkins or Vardy. Which one? I would probably prefer Watkins if I could afford that move. Start Vardy or Isak. I would obviously play Vardy there. He's the second highest for projected points for this week. So it's not even the worst shout in the world. I have actually done my FPL challenge team this week. So congratulations to me. Right, score predictions for you, George, to jot down. We've got 2-1 West Ham, 2-0 to Villa against Wolves, 1-1 for Fulham Newcastle, 2-2 for Everton, 3-0 for Liverpool, 1-1 between Southampton and Ipswich, 2-1 to Spurs versus Brentford, 2-1 to United over Palace, a 1-0 win for Brighton over Forest, and a 1-0 win for City over Arsenal. There you go. Is João Pedro going to start? We don't know. We don't know. The comment was yesterday, they're not going to take any risks. So judge that how you want to judge that. Would you do Nketiah plus Pau in, Isak and Munoz out? Currently have 4 free transfers. I don't hate those moves. I think Nketiah is probably not getting the love he should probably deserve. But still a great option. Cheers, George, for that one. I mean, it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking good for the old predictions for me. Can you rate my wildcard team? Hudson-Odoi is a player that's not playing. Strand Larson as well, we've already spoke about with the Wolves fixtures. Probably don't want to hop on those till around 10. So he's probably going to be sat on your bench for most weeks. Hudson-Odoi, like I said, is not really playing. West Ham defensively, their XG conceded has been abysmal. That trend has continued from last season. So there's probably better 4.5 millions to be going and looking at. Keep those questions coming in, guys. Obviously, if we do get any early team news, we will be breaking it for you. I don't want the Vardy party to end. No one wants the Vardy party to end. I'm good, Josh. I'm very good, mate. Is Edouard on loan at Leicester a worry for Vardy's consistent minutes? Great question, Jake. Hope you're doing well, mate. It is. But after the comments made by Cooper yesterday, I do feel a little bit more confident in his minutes. He basically said, like, they're super impressed with how Vardy started the season. And Edouard can play as the 9. Or what they have also said is they like his versatility to play across the front 3. So he's not just going to be playing as the 9. And I think Vardy for the next few weeks will still be starting games. No worries, man. Anytime, anytime. Do you think Haaland will be a better captain than Salah? This week, no. Salah's the better captain. I currently have João Pedro starting. Should I start any of Gibbs White, Gabriel, or Aina over him? Probably maybe Gibbs White. Yeah. Vardy, João Pedro, or Calvert-Lewin. Probably Vardy shorter term, Calvert-Lewin longer term. Calvert-Lewin was worried, but he will score a brace. I hope so. I hope so. Thoughts on Wood? I'm a big fan of the Wood. No, I think he could be an okay option. He could be an okay option. No worries. No worries on the UCL code. Obviously, we will be doing... I've basically booked... I had loads of holidays left at work, so now we've booked every deadline stream off for that one. So obviously, if you are a UCL fan, we do make content on that one as well. Waiting to hear it's 11. It's heaven for Jamie Vardy. I did watch a Jamie Vardy compilation last night. I can't lie. I was just like, I need to get in the hype. I need to get back in the Jamie Vardy spirit. Like I said on the deadline stream, the deadline preview stream last night, I was like, I have had Vardy in the past, and it was around this time as well, end of September, and I absolutely loved it. I remember like it was such a crap Friday I had. Like I drove from Leeds to Manchester, and there was like a massive traffic jam, and then I had to drive from Manchester to Liverpool that same night, and I was dead, like dead on my feet. I got in bed, collapsed, and all I wanted to do that Saturday was just watch some football. And Jamie Vardy, I think, got a brace on that day, and I had him, and I was just like, that's it, life complete, done. Any updates on Isak? No further than what we've already had, basically. Who do you think will get more minutes, Pedro or Gibbs White? I think they're not going to risk João Pedro if he's not 100% available. So probably in that regard, Gibbs White is more secure in those minutes. Wood is really weird. I don't have him in my team, but whatever happens, I watch some stream and he appears, you bastard. Do you think Rodgers, once he scores, will get on a roll? He could very easily, like, he just needs a bit of a confidence goal or a confidence assist, I feel. Danny Welbeck over Calvert-Lewin short term? No, if I was to pick a striker for the short term, it would be Vardy. Jota to Semenyo next week will most likely be my move. Not keen to sell him this week. I mean, if he is benched, maybe that's going to cause a few problems, but I think maybe, you know, there could be some other options, and Buemo with his name just sticking out. My team is worth 99.9 with 2.1 million in the bank. Very nice. You've caught a lot of price rises. I wish I could say the same. I think we've only just got back to the 100 million. Kwanzaa absolutely destroyed it, to be honest. What a troll he was. What a troll. But yeah. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. Any questions you do have. On terms of the poll for captaincy for this week, it is Mohamed Salah leading the way with a 74% chance of the vote. 10% have still gone for Haaland, 8% Watkins, and then 7% have gone for other as well. Can Collins be a good differential? Yeah, that Brentford defence definitely could be a good way in as well. I'm on James Ward-Prowse and Isak still. Wildcard 6, 1 free transfer, value 2 free transfer after wildcard, or a 1 week punt. I mean, I think I would want Watkins one. I think I would want Watkins one for that 1 week punt. Mate, I saw your UCL team. You forgot to change your team on the last day and ended up benching Grimaldo, Wirtz in your mouth. 35 point on the bet. Yeah, at least it's not happening in FPL. That's like UCL. I like it. I think it's a good game. It definitely made watching, like, I've not watched Champions League football like just sitting there for years. Like, I just haven't. And I thought this year, you know what, we'll give it a go. We'll see if there's like a demand for content, and there definitely is. So we're going to keep up with it. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain, isn't it? We could have been absolutely flying, but it is what it is. I sent my team over, got 1 free transfer. 61k was a 16k red arrow last week. Do you think that Saka is a good option, or should I sell him and go for Mbeumo? I think Saka for 6 and 7, if you look at the FPL review predicted points, is one of the highest points players. So you probably maybe want to consider captaincy those weeks as well. DCL or Welbeck? It would be DCL for me. Right, let's take a look at Twitter, see if we've had any other teams sent in. Thank you very much for sending your teams in, guys. We didn't do this one, so let's do this one quickly. Please review it, mate. Appreciated. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Strand Larson if this is a wildcard team. It isn't. I'm not a fan of Strand Larson. I'm not. Watch him score today now. I've said all this. Decent captain. Obviously, Isak flagged, but Harwood Bellis could easily come in for that. This team looked good, though. For this week, yeah. Thoughts on this wildcard? Why have you got Barco in there? Get Barco out, get Greaves in. At least it gives you a playing player. I don't like Mazraoui as a pick for 4.5 either. I would rather have maybe somebody like Aina. Smith Rowe, longer term, not really a great option. There's probably better ones to go for, in my opinion. And same goes for Welbeck. Those fixtures fall off for both Fulham and Brentford over the next few weeks. So maybe a DCL in here is probably going to be the better longer term pick. Henderson, Porro, Trent, Robinson, Diego Jota again could be benched. Garnacho could also be benched today. João Pedro could also be benched today. So there might be a few headaches you want to potentially consider with that team. Locked in, do have one free transfer, but don't need to. Did Visser to Calvert-Lewin this week. Yeah, I mean, if João Pedro doesn't play, you've got Smith Rowe coming off the bench. So you're not in the worst position, are you, to be honest, mate? So yeah, I think you're fine, Josh. I think you're fine, mate. I think you are fine. One more confusion. After seeing your Sharda versus ESR, I'm also on a wild card. Yeah, for me, Sharda is a gamble. It's a big gamble, and I probably would not recommend doing it. He could just be playing up front for Brentford for the next few weeks, while Visser and other players are out injured. If I was to pick a 5.5 or a 5.6 this week and had to bench them, I probably would say Semenyo or Tavernier are going to be the better two picks to go for. Will DCL start? Yeah, he should start. Start Gabriel or Gvardiol? I would probably go Gvardiol. Better clean sheet odds for City from the bookmakers. Colwell or Konza? I would go Konza. Again, better clean sheet odds for this week. Andy says, I got 100 points for UCL Fantasy and I have no clue what I'm doing. Yeah, it was. There was a lot of people like that. I feel maybe next week when it starts to get a little bit harder and chips start to come into play, we might get a little bit ropey. We haven't got 18 minutes. We've got longer. We've got longer, Andy. It's what's it called? It's an 11 o'clock deadline. It's an 11 o'clock deadline. Would you sell Saka for Salah for this week? Yeah, but I want him back for next week. Nah, we're gonna stick with Konza. We're gonna stick with Maddison or Savinho. Jesus, probably Maddison. Isak and Odegaard to Palmer and Solanke. I don't hate those moves. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're good moves. Yeah, make sure you are liking and subscribing as well, guys. Massively appreciate everybody that's been in today's stream. 90 likes on the stream. If we could get this to 100 by the end of it, that would be a nice milestone to hit, wouldn't it? Do you like Digne for Konza? I don't like Digne as a pick. He's a massive troll. I was expecting Maddison to start midweek. However, the fact that Digne did makes him even bigger of a troll, to be honest. DCL or Vardy for a 1 week punt? Probably Vardy. Should I have Eze on a wild card? He's not a bad option. Everything that Palace do does come through him, but at the same time, they are missing. You can tell they're just missing Elise. Let's have a look at Jake's team, see what he's sent in. This is my team. Do I hold or do I have 2 free transfers? I'd put the captaincy on Salah, especially with Jota apparently being benched. I would make a move for either Visser or Muniz out. Muniz is going to be benched. He played midweek, so yeah, I probably would say I'd make that move out. Yeah, I do Muniz out. Yeah, I do Muniz to either DCL or Vardy. DCL is probably the better longer term pick, and then I probably would recommend doing Diego Jota to Mbeumo if we get news that Jota's not starting, and then that sets you up going forward as well. So yeah, that's probably what I'd recommend on that one, mate. Thoughts and thanks, review, cheers. I like the Davis pick. That's decent. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Again, let's wait and see on if we do get any news about Diego Jota. I'll put a tweet out actually asking if anybody has any news on it. Any news on Jota starting? Question mark. There we go. I've just asked if anybody's got any news on Jota starting. We'll see what comes back on that tweet. Nice. Nice, George. Love that one. Sugwara or Davies? I'd probably go Davies. I know a lot of people are banging on about Sugwara, but I'm not a fan. Jota is benched. Apparently, that's the rumour. So let's wait and see how accurate that is. Jake, are you around today at all? Obviously, I'm losing a Sean today. So if you are around, mate, we'll hop on and we'll have a chat. Or are you working again this weekend? I transferred out Bruno and Isak for Salah and Duran. I now have triple Liverpool and Villa. Is that bad? It's not the worst. Like I feel you're going to start to want to move away from triple Liverpool in the next few weeks. It didn't appear in there, but we'll go and take a look in a few minutes at some more. We'll have a little bit of a deep dive because some of them don't pull through. Just make sure you are following me on Twitter because sometimes it's a little bit dicey. I would probably say Gibbs, White and Isak. I reckon Jota starts, assuming Slot would throw Nunes in the cup midweek rather than the league match. Yeah, but to assume is to make an ass of you and me. Start Jota or Muniz? Jota. Will Hall and Murphy start? I don't think Hall's in the predicted lineups, but Murphy is. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well then, I will be there no matter what, sir. I will be there no matter what. Once I film my video, yeah, I'll be on probably about 7ish. Somewhere around there, mate. Wildcard in next week. Do I save my transfer or punt on Vardy DCL for Isak? It could be worth the punt, but that transfer could be a lot more valuable for future weeks going on. And Isak still could very easily start. Robinson or Gavardio? I would play Gavardio with a clean sheet data this week. Robinson, Lewis or Jota? I probably would play Jota out of all of those if obviously we get news that he's definitely starting. Let's have a look what we've had in. Chris, I'm hoping to squeeze into the top 7 million this weekend. Yes, I am hopeless. Nice. I mean, it's not a bad team. It's genuinely not a bad team. So you could do it this week, mate. You could do it this week. Andrew has said Havertz and Buemo Rea coming in next week. Looking to get rid of Digne soon as well. Nice. Obviously, the João Pedro and the Diego Jota issues we have flagged with a lot of teams. Let's have a look. See if I have missed anybody. Apologies if I have, guys. That wasn't my intention. I don't think we've done this one, have we? What do you think of this wild card? Which 3 defenders should I start? Do you think I should get Rodgers instead of Sade? I like those defenders. And yeah, I think... no, actually, I like that. I do like that. I do like that team. That's a good team. That's a good team. Let's have a look if there's anybody else I have missed. Apologies if they don't pick up. Might be down here in the bin section. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So maybe just send them me again, guys, because they're not 100% pulling through. Unless you've been putting them on this one. Yeah, it looks like you've been putting on this one. Did we do that one? Yeah, I did that one. Here we go. FPL Master. My team rate it 1 to 10. Probably, I'd be playing Saka over Tielemans and over Diblin. Probably a 6. Yeah, probably a 6. Right, those are all the ones I could find, guys. So if you have sent to me, eesh. Who's the 5:30? I'll bring someone fun in for it. I don't actually know. Who is the 5:30 today? It's Palace, isn't it, I think? Mateta time. Can you even get to Mateta? Yeah, maybe roll then. Jota does get good returns off the bench. Please don't spam. I will get round to your question. De Bruyne, Muniz, Lewis Hall, Taylor Harwood, 2 starters and 2 substitutes. Probably play De Bruyne and Harwood, Bellis. Saka and Isak to Vardy and Salah were for -4. Wildcard and 6. Probably not. Davis or Shaguara. Probably would go Davis. Who should I start? Robinson, Fass or Mikalenko? Probably going to be one of Fass or Mikalenko. Game week 6. Do I take Mitoma and João Pedro out? And if so, who do I get in for them? Yeah, probably DCL and Vardy. And then Mitoma, you're probably looking at if you could stretch to Mbeumo, he would be my ideal replacement. Could do Jota to Eze and Vissa to DCL. I do like those moves. I do like those moves, mate. They could be sexual moves. They could be sexual moves. For me, it's a 12:30 in the UK. It's a 12:30 in the UK. If anyone plays UCL fantasy football, do follow Tom, because a few big creators said to get Salah, and I asked Tom and he said to get Kane. I would have quit the first week if I didn't have Kane. Yeah, it's just daft. Like, you've got to have Kane. They were playing like some Croatian bin men. Obviously, he was going to go and score a couple. So, yeah, just makes sense. Just makes sense. Keep Son or Bruno to get Salah. I probably would say I'd be more tempted to keep Son rather than Bruno. If that's the way that you can fund a move for that one. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. Like I said, we've got just over an hour, really, till the deadline obviously does come around. So make sure you are getting those questions locked and loaded. I got 127 points in UCL Fantasy. Very, very nice. Start Pedro or Smith Rowe. I'd take the gamble and start João Pedro for now. However, it wouldn't surprise me, to see him benched. And if that is the case, then you get in. We hit 100 likes. Did we hit 100 likes? Yeah. Oh, we're on 99. We're on 99. We're on 99. Come on. Strategy option, since I can't wildcard. Kudus/Bowen in for Saka for the next 2 game weeks. Then bring back Saka, have rolled 2 free transfers. Yeah, that could work. That could work. We're on 99. You liar. You liar. We're not on 100. We're stuck on 99. One more person we need. It's still saying 99 on mine. What's João Pedro's chances of starting? I don't really have a number. He's been in training, but again, they're all going to make a late call on whether or not he's fit and available for it. People are saying it's 100 likes. Paul's saying it's 100 likes. Welcome, Paul. I hope you're doing well, man. It's 100. It's well over 100. Big up. Big up. I couldn't see your team, mate. I couldn't see it. So if you want to maybe put it in the chat. Are you still doing your Limitless in Game Week 2? Yeah, I'm doing my Limitless in Game Week 2. Cheers, guys. Thank you for all the likes. Massively appreciate that one. Over 100 likes is just mental. So yeah, thank you very much for all your continued support on the channel. Like I said, we're gonna be knocking on that 10k door very, very soon. So big things really, guys. This week's wildcard got me 4 price rises: Aina, Vardy, Watkins and Haaland. Really happy with that. Yep, it has built me back some budget as well. I had Aina, Vardy, Haaland. Who else got one? Aina, Vardy, Haaland. Yeah, I think that's it. Onana or Diaz? Probably would say Diaz on that front, mate. Probably would go Diaz on that front. We do a robot since we hit 100 likes. Robinson or Mikalenko? Probably would go Mikalenko. You know what? We hit 100 likes. We'll do a robot. We'll do a robot. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. We did hit 100 likes. I appreciate that from you guys. It's on the reply. Just looked at Cliver. I couldn't see it in there. So just maybe send it me again, because I did have a look through that one. I don't think Garnacho, just because he's not starting games. I think as soon as he start games, I want him. I want Rashford 100%. Outside of Salah, Watkins, Palmer, Trent, who else would you consider a viable captain option? I feel you're really struggling at that point. Is Rashford back in his form? He's doing all right. He's doing all right. Let's see how he gets on in the next few weeks. Like I said, United players probably going to be around game week 8. We want to start looking at those. No Jota news as of yet. 2 4.5 million goalkeepers like Flecken, Sells, Sanchez, or a 5.5 million Raya before the wild card is fully locked. I think Raya is a nice and cheap, easy way into that Arsenal back line. So it does save you that 0.5 million. But I also like the 4.5 million goalkeepers you've suggested there. Both have really, really good projected clean sheets coming up. Why am I wildcarding this week? My team was a mess and wouldn't have been able to do a lot of them. This week's challenge is South American players only. Jota bench is what's going around, but not confirmed. Yeah, we're still waiting for any kind of confirmation on whether or not it's actually going to be happening. I didn't see your teammate, so if you want to send it in again, then we can take a look. Ah, here it is. It's pulled through now, mate. Cool. Should I start Smith Rowe? No, I think you're fine with what you've got there. Not sure how this week's going to go. Hoping to reach 15k this time. Very nice. Yeah, João Pedro. There it is. João Pedro and Jota could be the potential risks, but everyone else looks pretty decent. Obviously, we will try and see if we do get any, obviously, news relating to Diego Jota, but nothing as of yet. We've still got an hour to go, so we might get something. Who knows? Who knows indeed? Should I get Son or Bruno for Saka for this week and switch back next week? Seems like a lot of tossing and turning, and Saka could very easily still go and score this week. Yeah, that could work. Notions vid, that could work. This is your final team selection for your team, Tom. Yeah, the only change I might make is between Sharda and Cliver. That's where my head's at. How many points am I on? Not enough. Let's put it that way. Start Rodgers or ESR? I probably would start Rodgers this week. Pope. Muniz is a problem. Yeah, I'd probably use that free transfer, Watkins to Muniz. Yeah, that could do it. Yeah, Raya will just be a set and forget, and we won't worry about it ever again. Should I start Greaves or Lewis? I'm also considering bringing in DCL this week for Visser. Yeah, I like that one. I like that move. And if I was to start one of Greaves or Lewis, probably Greaves. I think with Lewis starting midweek, could be bench, but we never know with Pep. We never know what this guy's on. We never know, do we? Oh, dear. Keep your questions coming in, guys. Any questions that you do have, we will try and get them answered before obviously the deadline does pass. Jesus, mate. Jesus. That's a big bet, that one. That is a big bet, that one. Do I do Muniz to Havertz now and have 2.1? I would probably wait. I'm a little bit unsure on Havertz and his potential future positioning going forward. Points altogether, it's not a lot. Again, like I said, it's not a lot. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have a look in a second. When is the next team review? If you want to send me a team, just get it sent in and we'll review it. Wow. That is a joke. What was I going to look for? No, the City clean sheet data is still pretty decent, so I wouldn't even be like tempted not to go against it, to be honest. Who do I bench between ESR, Ahmed, and João Pedro? Also, thoughts on Leif Davis as a punt for this week? Yeah, Leif Davis could be a decent punt for this week. And I probably would be tempted to bench maybe João Pedro with the uncertainty around him and his potential minutes. So yeah, that's probably the way my head would go with that one. What do you think of Diallo this week? Yeah, he's alright. He is alright, but there will be a game where he just does come off a bit early. There will. And there will be a game where Garnacho comes in. I probably wouldn't recommend doing a -4 for that, no. Select 3 to start: Semenyo or Mitoma or João Pedro or Lewis or Mazraoui. Mitoma, probably Mazraoui, and then one of João Pedro or Lewis for me. Oh, it's Super 6. I didn't realise I hadn't done Super 6. I don't even know what the scores are going to be today. Let's do these. Right, Liverpool, we're going to go for a 2-0. Actually, we're going to go 2-1 for that one. Brentford, Spurs, again, we're going to go 2-1. Villa, we're going to go 2-0. United, we're going to go 2-1. Just going to go for a 1-0 win and a 1-0 win. Boom. There we go. They're in. They're locked in. He is a decent enabler, but I need to see him play more minutes before I make that move to him. The reason, I've changed from Aina to Greaves is slight clean sheet percentages on both the 11FI model and the Rob T FPL model. It sounds like someone's just started doing roadworks right outside. I only remembered I could do Super 6 like a week ago. I just was sat with a friend and he was like, "Have you done your Super 6?" And I was like, "No, I haven't. I haven't done it in years." So yeah. But yeah, apologies if you can hear like somebody drilling outside. It's really annoying. Start Martinez or Robinson? I probably would go Martinez. Captain Watkins, Haaland, Diego Jota, Luis Diaz. I probably would be more tempted with either Watkins or Haaland. Captain Vardy? No, not for me. Not for me. He's a big enough differential as is. Bench Gordon, Rodgers or Eze. I would probably say... Probably would bench Rodgers out of all of those, but that's tight. That is tight. Bring in DCL... Delap or Nketiah for game week 6 onwards. Probably going to be DCL my top option there, then Nketiah second. Delap's data is just terrible. It's not there at all. Keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have as well. Obviously, if you are new around here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking for more FPL content as well. Bring in Solanke for Isak. Yeah, not bad. Captain Watkins over Haaland. Don't own Salah. It's not the worst idea in the world. Haaland is still fancied to do quite well for projected points, though. Construction until 2026, mate. That's a stinker. I used to live next to like it was like a... I don't know if it was a motorway or like an A road, but basically they were remaking a new, like they were basically building a new lane. They'd be doing work all night on it, and the windows I had in that flat were like basically might as well have just been cling film. It was terrible. Where can I send my teams to? If you want to send it me on Twitter at @FPLTom_. To look at a -4, you have to lease. Yeah, agreed. Start Gibbs White over João Pedro. Probably yes. Keep those questions coming in, guys. Like I said, you've been absolutely amazing today. We still have around 55 minutes to go till the deadline, so we will be live up until that point as well. So plenty more chat about players and stuff like that. I cannot afford Salah. Any suggestions? I probably wouldn't recommend going for any of the cheaper Liverpool lads, just with those like rotation and stuff like that. I don't look at team IDs. If you want to send me a team, send it to me over on Twitter. But yeah, I don't look at team IDs. If you want somebody that does look at team IDs, go to Golden Goal Fantasy Football. He looks at team IDs. Boom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Let's have a look if we have had any more in. One free transfer and 0.3 million in the bank. Any news on Isaac or João Pedro? Nothing as of yet that we already know. So, yeah. But yeah, I probably would be tempted to make that move. Maybe João Pedro to DCL or a Vardy. Thoughts? I'm guessing this is your wildcard team. I probably wouldn't have Alanga in here. I reckon there's probably a better cheaper midfielder to go for. And you probably got a little bit more budget in the bank here. I mean, you could drop Trent down to Robertson and upgrade Alanga. Or go for Rodgers in that position. Or a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think they're just probably maybe better options. It doesn't look like we've got any kind of early team news as of yet. But we will have to wait and see. Obviously, people are waiting for Jota news and stuff like that. Will DCL start? Yep. Best Bournemouth defender for 4.5. It probably is going to be... What's the guy's name? Oh, my days. Zabania. Zabania is probably the best one. Will DCL start? Yeah, he should start. Bench Robinson or Van de Ven? I would bench Robinson. The Van de Ven clean sheet data is better. No, you're not crazy. Like that is there is a big switch in terms of fixtures for both Foden and Saka, so it makes sense. I just think, you know, they play Wolves and Palace in 7 and 8, so maybe be a bit worried that Salah still could pop off. Do I do Wood for João Pedro for a 4-point hit? No. DCL or Wood? DCL for me. How about Liverpool defender or save the transfer I already got for Trent? What? What? I'm confused. Cool. Thank you for sending me a team. We'll go and look at that in a little while as well. Make sure, like I said, guys, if you do want your team rating by me, get it sent in on Twitter. Why have I got the Wii boxing theme in my head? Someone get that out of my head. What a crazy thing to have in your head. The Wii boxing theme. Oh, dearie me. Dearie, dearie me. Who should I bench? Haaland or João Pedro? I mean, the fact that I even have to answer that question. Come on, man. Come on. Obviously, it's João Pedro. Come on. Let's take a look what we've had sent in. One free transfer available. 1.4 million in the bank. I seriously don't know what to do. What do you think? It probably is going to be one of Muniz or Isaac that you want to be taking out. If you've got enough money to go to Watkins, I probably would prefer that as the move. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do there. Watkins in, or you could go DCL to Vardy or Vardy or DCL. Sorry. Rate it. Martinez, Estepinian, Kanate. I mean, is Estepinian playing? I don't know. Arch is it's a good fixture for this week, but he is a bit of a rogue one. And obviously he missed that penalty last week, so what's to stop them benching him this week? Maybe. What do you mean he's going to start? Haaland, of course, will start. Numpty. Bench João Pedro. What are you chatting? Watkins or Solanke as a replacement to Isaac. Yep, both work. Both are great options you've said there. What two should I start out of Konza, Robinson and Porro? Probably would go Konza and Porro, mate. Saka or Palmer? Longer term, I probably will want Saka. This week, probably Palmer's the better player. Isaac to Solanke for a 4-point hit? No, not for me. Not for me. Liverpool defence for the next 3 weeks, yes, and they've been the best team for XG conceded. Longer term, though, you probably want to start to look to move away from Liverpool players. So, yeah. Yeah, if you send it over, mate, we'll get it. We'll get it reviewed. We will get it reviewed. Probably would go Robinson. Bench Calvert-Lewin or Havertz? Havertz. I'd bench Havertz for this week. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What questions have we got going off in the chat then? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Vardy to Solanke or Nicholas Jackson? Why are you getting rid of Vardy? Keep Vardy in there. João Pedro to DCL for a 4-point hit? No. As a Villa fan, I don't really trust Villa's defence for 10 minutes every week. What about Welbeck? No. Longer term fixtures just aren't there. Can you rate my team? Muniz is going to be your issue there, mate, so probably worth a transfer out. One of him or Isaac. Start Rodgers or start Jota. I'd still probably gamble on Jota. Vardy to Solanke. I don't know why I'd be taking Vardy out. Why are you taking Vardy out? It's a good fixture this week. Game week 6, Watkins, Jota out for DCL, Saka to get my Arsenal train. Yeah, I don't think so. The thing with Welbeck is the fixtures just are tailing off for Brighton. That's why I'd move away. I'd probably have a gamble on Lewis. I don't know what Anderson's minutes have been like. I know he started the last game, but yeah, I probably would have a gamble on Lewis there. No, still probably wouldn't do a Rodgers to Sharda hit for a -4. Not worth it. Wildcard, Rodgers and Palmer or Saka and Smith Rowe. I think if I was on a wildcard this week, I wouldn't be looking at any Fulham players. That run they had has gone. Their fixtures now do start to tail away. And if we look at the projected goal numbers as well, they also start to tail away. We've got to be looking at teams where it's now an upward trajectory for them. So the likes of Brentford, Bournemouth, these sort of teams are probably ones you want to be more targeting. How much will João Pedro play? I don't know. He's been pictured in training. That's about as best we've got. I don't think there is any really kind of standout 5 million defender picks, to be honest. So maybe worth just keeping him. Eze or Rashford? I think I want United players around 8, so I probably would say I prefer Eze. Yeah, I'll do some more team ratings in a bit. Not Garnacho, just because we don't know his minutes yet and it's still a bit dicey. I have Welbeck and Pedro Semeno. Will Stewart, if he plays, throw the money in mid. What do you think of that plan? Yeah, it frees up a bit of money. I mean, there's also decent options around Welbeck's price that might emerge. And Ketia, obviously we've spoken about the Wolves guy maybe being from 10. Custard creams or bourbons? Oh, I love a custard cream, you know, but I'm a big fan of a bourbon. I had one the other week. I'd probably go custard cream. Probably would go custard cream, you know. It's a steady shout, isn't it, a custard cream? Do I change Saliba to Ped Porro? Not this week. Not this week. But both players have really good runs after this anyway. Let's have a look if we've had any more teams sent in. We have AA1, a back 5. Jesus. I think I would rather start. I think I'd rather start De Bruyne than maybe like the cheap Brentford defender and just hope he plays. Yeah, that's what I'd rather do with that one. But Jesus, a back five, mate. Whew. Still no early team news. We've got about 45 minutes till the deadline, so do keep those questions coming in. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have anything of yet, so nothing really to talk about. We had another team sent in. We have. What would you change outside of Mazzori, as he's my guy? Probably he would be one of the change. Wouldn't have double Ipswich defence. Definitely not. Would rather have another 4.5 in here. Maybe somebody like Aina or Mikalenko. Or utilise that extra million you've got here to upgrade Winks. Because currently you've got 3 bench players you're going to probably be playing every single week. You want somebody to probably bench this week for Semenyo. So, yeah, I probably would say get either somebody that rotates nicely with Semenyo and Vardy or Calvert-Lewin, or use that to get a 4.5 million in here and save 0.5 in the bank. That would be my suggestion on that. Boom, 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 boom. If you just type it in the chat, if you don't have Twitter, unfortunately. Thoughts on Eze as a captain? Not for me. Robinson or Fast to start this week? I'd probably go Fast, better clean sheet data. What about Havertz for Nketiah in the upcoming weeks? Could be an option. Could be an option. Is there much between Gabriel and Saliba? Not really. I just feel like maybe Saliba doesn't get dropped. I could see maybe Gabriel missing out on 1 or 2 Premier League games this season. Will Tottenham get a clean sheet? There's a 31% probability. It's pretty decent odds. Will Chris Wood sell Chris Wood or João Pedro? Probably João Pedro, considering the issues he's got. Show us your challenge team, Tom. Yeah, no problem. Can you guys see this? Hang on. Manage team. That's what we're going with this week. Yeah, I've put like 0 thought into it. I did it at work the other day. Like Ben Brereton Diaz is a pretty good fixture. Garnacho just seems to be coming off the bench and scoring, so we're going with him. Probably shouldn't captain him. Same with Duran. Like yeah, there's not really too much thought gone into it. I'm not that overly bothered by it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If we win, we win. Do. Should I start Rodgers or Duran? I mean, if you brought Duran in, I'd probably say gamble on Duran. Who is the best 4.5 million goalkeeper? Probably going to be Flecken, or probably maybe... Who's the other guy that I was considering? Probably going to be Flecken, realistically, isn't it? Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together. Yeah. I get your point, Andy. I do get your point. I just don't like the Fulham fixtures going forward for me. That's probably where my issue lies in it. Verbergen, that's the one. Verbergen, yeah, Verbergen's the other goalkeeper. So yeah, both of those in rotation could be decent shouts. Thank you for everybody for all your comments, likes, all that good stuff. You've been absolutely amazing in today's stream as we are approaching that deadline. So obviously there is plenty more FPL content coming your way and UCL content, of course, coming up over the next few weeks. Unfortunately, no deadline stream for me next week. But Golden Goal Fantasy Football, one of my good friends, it will also be live from 8 o'clock. So make sure you go and checking him out as well. Drop him a subscribe. And obviously, if you want to head over to his channel right now and, say hi from FPL Tom, all good stuff. Pope Flecken, Guardiola. Yeah, I think you're obviously going to have some issues going further forward in the next few weeks. The Brighton fixtures do fall away. So do the Newcastle ones as well. So do the Fulham ones. So maybe a game week 6 wildcard is looking on the cards, Hassan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hissan? Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apologies if I'm not, mate. Salah and Watkins for Haaland and Salah for game week 5, and then bring Haaland back and triple Arsenal on the wildcard. Maybe, but just obviously there is a bit of value built into Haaland now. Start Gvardiol or Konza. Better clean sheet data, interestingly, for I think both of them are the same, so I probably would go Conza, actually. McNeil or Rogers or Welbeck start. Probably McNeil start this week. Morning everyone. Is this your wildcard team? Yes, it is my wildcard team. It is my wildcard team. Adama, Onana or McNeil as a sub. I probably would have Adama as a sub. I probably would play Henderson. Let's have a look at the clean sheet data for that one. That's probably the best way to lean on that one. So, Brentford have got a 10% chance. We're 19, so yeah, I'd probably go Henderson for this week then. Flecken or Sanchez. Again, power of deduction, 23%. Flecken at 10, we're going Sanchez. Yeah, again, Muniz is probably going to be a problem, and Isak this week. 1 free transfer. I probably, if I would make Isak to Watkins my move for this week. Solanke or DCL for game week 5. I think both are fantastic options. Genuinely, both are fantastic options. Have you spoke about Leif Davis? Yeah, we've had him pop up in a few ones. I mean, Ruta definitely could play a full 90. He definitely could play a full 90. There's no questions in that one. He could play very easily a full 90. I don't think you necessarily need to wild card. It's not the worst team in the world. You can definitely get by. You've still got some of the best captaincy options for this week. I would hold that wild card. I'd hold that wild card. Gavardio or Robinson. Again, I would be using this clean sheet data here and would be going for Gavardio. That would be my advice on that one. That would be my advice. No worries, Jessica. No worries. Yeah, I reckon Vardy's probably a 70-minute man every week, isn't he, to be honest? He is probably a 70-minute man. Start Martinez or Pope. Again, I'd probably go Martinez, back off that clean sheet data. Hey, Jeff, how's it going, man? Hope you're good. Hope you are doing good. Any news on the old Isak? Nothing as of yet. Nothing as of yet. It's not like anything I've heard. It's more just the predicted lineups that I've seen on like Twitter and stuff from like Liverpool accounts and stuff like that. They don't have Jota in, and there's a lot of them that are going with that consensus. Now that could mean absolutely diddly squat, but maybe if we get a leak or something that he's not starting. Obviously their game's at 3 today, right? I need to have a look what games are on it today, because I know I've got the we'll be watching the Everton game. That's a given considering the players I've got in this. So yeah, we'll be watching the Everton game. And then I'll probably watch the Liverpool game. Yeah, that's probably where there's a lot of decent 3 o'clockers today, isn't there? A lot of decent 3 o'clock kickoffs. And then the 7:30, the 5:30, sorry, I don't have anyone in that, so I'm not too fussed. So yeah, I can probably just get the video ploughed out later for you guys as well. Robinson or Rogers? I probably would go Rogers, you know. Not including Raya, Flecken and Verbergen then probably are going to be your best two. If you want to send over your teammate, we'll take a look. Just got here, Tom. Have I missed any leaks or news? Also, would you start Isak or João Pedro? I think both could either start. I think João Pedro I'd probably be more tempted to start because we've seen him pictured in training. But yeah, we'll take a look at some teams in a little while. But yeah, no leaks as of yet. We've got about half an hour-ish until maybe we start seeing some start to appear and stuff like that. Is Palmer a good captain? He's not a bad captain. I think we should probably look at predicted points for this week. Let's have a look. All just for this week. Obviously up that budget. There we go. So it's saying Salah's predicted to do quite well this week. Haaland, Eze's also fancied to do quite well. The Fantasy Football Hub model absolutely loves him. But yeah, Palmer's definitely on this list, above Watkins, above Foden. This is what I mean by people selling maybe Saka off this week. He's still fancied to do incredibly well. People that are looking at Solanke as well, those projected points are looking fairly steady as well. Trent's on here, Gordon, Wood that we've obviously been discussing, and Buemo, definitely a player who would be starting to pick up. That ownership is going to be massively shooting up with a run of West Ham, Wolves, United, Ipswich coming up. So that's gonna fly through the roof. Rodgers still fancied to do quite well on this list as well. Other players that are fancied to do well this week, Ben Brereton Diaz could be a shout for a 1 week punt. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Jean Pedro or Calvert-Lewin for 1 game week? I'd probably take that move on Calvert-Lewin then. Timber looks like a cheap way into the Arsenal defence. He does. Again, though, how secure are those minutes? How secure are those minutes? Because he's playing left back, right? But they've also got Thingy who could play there. Mm. 90, 73, 80, 79. He does look good. He does look good. Obviously, though, the only problem is they do have the other guy. What's his name? California, who can play at left back as well. But then they've got injuries to Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Scott Tierney. So he's out for a while. He's out till September, late September. So Tomiyasu will start to be coming back into rotation. So do just bear that in mind if you are looking at obviously going for him. They've also got California as well who can play in that role. So yeah, just be wary of that one. DCL or Vardy. I think for this week I would prefer Vardy. Salah or Palmer captain. I think for me it is Salah captain. Highest projected points. Liverpool are also the team for the best projected goals as well this week. So all that data, kind of putting it all together, makes sense to me for Salah to be captain. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Like I said, we do have about half an hour till the deadline. Make sure you're getting those teams locked and loaded. Yeah, he could, but again, at the same time, I don't think I'm going to go there. I think they're going to have a lot of competition for those spots, and we'll be rotating around with Champions League football. But he does look decent. I just don't fancy playing a bit of a headache rotation game. Should I start Harwood Bellis for Robinson or Muniz? I would start... Probably not would be my claim on that one. Probably not. Salah and Ahmed for Saka and Jota, as Jota not sure to start. Salah as captain as well for Game Week 6 wildcard. Yeah, they're probably two moves I would be tempted to make. Again, if it's for a minus, maybe not. I'd be a little bit more sceptical, but if it's not, then I think we're all good. Mikey has sent me his team over. He's got Martinez, Saliba. I like it. Obviously, Isak and Garnacho are going to be the few issues you might have here with this team. My final update, outside of Mazzari. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ahmed. I'm just not. Adama, sorry. I'm just not. But I like the Aina move that you've done there. That makes more sense to me. That does make a lot more sense to me. 5 at the back. Jesus. I think I'd rather play... I mean, it's not even the worst 5 at the back. I'd just say, look how few clean sheets there have been in the Premier League. So, yeah. 2 free transfers and 1.5 million in the bank. I mean, you could theoretically do Isak to maybe a Calvert-Lewin, a Vardy. You could also do him to obviously a Watkins as well. Still gives you 2 free transfers into next week as well.
So that could be an option. And then you've got 2 free transfers to, you know, get an Arsenal defender in here, move to Saka. Just an option. Just an option. But yeah, I'd say look how few clean sheets we've had in the past few weeks. What do you think about Trent captaincy? It's one of those, isn't it? Like, his projected points are okay this week. I think if Alisson's out, I would be a little bit unsure of it. Like, his data is really, really good. Yeah, it's one of those. I never really like to captain a defender. I just don't. Start Rodgers or McNeil or Traore. I would probably start either Rodgers or McNeil. Probably McNeil, to be honest. He's looked really, really good. So yeah, I'd be more tempted with that. João Pedro to start. We've not had any further updates, and I doubt we will get any further updates around him. Yeah, agree. Will Isak start? Again, I can't really comment on it. Eddie Howe is a notorious liar in press conferences, and I wouldn't believe a word that he ever says. So yeah. Let's have a look if there's been any early team news. I'm curious. Still doesn't look like anything as of yet, kind of going around on Twitter. But we'll have to wait and see. Ben Krellin on a wild card. Let's have a look. So he's gone Solanke. Okay, nice. Alright, okay. Fair enough, Ben. He's gone for it. We've still got the poll going round for captaincy. It does look like Mohamed Salah is winning that with 74% of the vote. So yeah, a lot of you big fanboys for him, of course. Yeah, Muniz will probably be on the bench, especially with him starting midweek as well. He'll be on the bench. He will be on the bench. If you were on a wildcard, this is my wildcard team. So yeah, this is probably what I'd be going for. If I had 0.1 extra, it would be Tavernier rather than Sharda. But yeah, wild stuff, guys. Absolute legends, everyone that is in today's stream. Massively appreciate everybody. Lots of love. Any mid for 5.7? Like I said, Tavernier, Semenyo could be decent shots from next week. Dwight McNeil's also in that bracket as well. So there's a few kicking around. There's a few kicking around that you potentially could look at. Start Smith Rowe, Wood, or Minter. Probably would be tempted with Wood. Yeah, probably be tempted with Wood on that one. Start Gabriel. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, Arsenal still statistically are one of the best defences in the league. Which Premier League club do I support? Obviously, I'm a Mansfield fan, so we play in League One. In terms of Premier League clubs, I probably just like Brentford and Brighton because I feel they've set out a blueprint on how to progress through the leagues. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have a Premier League club. 11 a.m. deadline. Yep, make sure to check that team news. Any West Ham team news? Not as of yet, mate. Not as of yet. In game week 6, do I do Gvardiol to Timber and Mitoma to Semenyo and Jota to Mbeumo and Muniz to Watkins for a hit? -8 hit. I mean, if you're -8 hitting, you might as well just wildcard to catch these fixture swings. Robinson instead of Porro? No, I play Porro 100%. decent clean sheet data, attacking gold mine. Yeah, I'd have him instead. I'd have him instead. Robertson and Trent to start, or bench Robbie for Robinson. No, I'd start him again. This is the thing, right? Where is it? This one. This is the Rob T FPL data for this week. And as you can see, that Liverpool, they've got the best chance of a clean sheet this week, so you might as well go for that one. I already used my wildcard. Oof, rough, mate. Absolutely rough then for you. I say you're probably going to have to just be a little bit more methodical, and maybe there might have to be a big minus, but when you are making these big minuses, I would say it's setting you up for future weeks where you can just roll and have that comfortability. Will Fabio Carvalho start? A lot of the Brentford accounts are predicting him not to start. He is a really interesting pick going forward because of the injuries they've sustained. Obviously a great Carabao Cup performance midweek as well, but they will play a 5-back today, and they will have 2 up top, which will probably be Chardon and Buemo. Then they'll probably have a left wing back, what's the guy's name? Keane Lewis Potter. Maybe when they play the 4-3-3, there is more scope for him to potentially be playing in that left wing role. But for now, when they play the more difficult opposition, probably going to see a bench in this week. No further news on João Pedro or Isaac. We don't have anything, and I doubt we will get anything, unfortunately. That is probably the way it is just going to go, to be honest. That is probably just the way it's going to go. Right, I'm going to do a poll. I'm going to do another poll in the chat. We're going to get rid of the captaincy poll. We're going to get another one in there. So, yeah, Salah won that one. I think that was fairly obvious that he was going to probably win that one for best captaincy. So, thank you for everyone who got the votes in for that one. We're going to do another poll. We're going to do, who should I have on my wildcard? Sharda. I think I spelled that correctly. Let's have a look. Wrong one. So, Sharda, S-C-H... Nope, I spelled it wrong. Sharda or Cliver. How do I spell that? How do I spell his name? Justin Clivert. There we go. There you go. Who should I have on the wildcard, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Cliver or should I have Sharda? Get your votes in for that one. Is one forward Haaland a bad tactic? Not really. None of the other forwards have kind of turned up so far this season, have they? Saliba or Robinson? I probably would say Saliba. How about McNeil? No, I don't want double Everton attack. I'm not having double Everton attack. No, I'm not tripling up on Everton on a wild card. That's daft. I do expect performances and results to improve, but yeah, that one's a bit wrong. I can't afford Tavernier. It literally is between Cliver and of course Cliver. I just can't afford Tavernier. Tavernier was the one I wanted. His data's been exceptional, and I'm a bit gutted about that one. But yeah, here's the clean sheet data this week. Best clean sheets are of course going to be Liverpool with a 40% chance, Brighton with a 34%, City interestingly with a 34%. And Aston Villa 34%. Hopefully Garnacho starts. I have him. It's such a tough call, isn't it? I mean, the poll for this chat as well is tight. 53% have gone for Sharda. 47% have gone for Cliver. Get your votes in for that one. Thoughts on McNeil? I think he's fine if you're not going for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I just think there's no point having double Everton attacks. Just... that's asking for a disaster, really. Welbeck or Rodgers or McNeil or Robinson to start. I have a wild card. I would obviously be starting McNeil Rodgers and Welbeck over Robinson this week. Hudson-Odoi's not starting games, so not going near him. Yeah, Ahmed is the problem for Garnacho big time. Start Rico or Robinson. Tough one realistically. Will Rico get 60 if I start him? Yeah, that's the thing. And I think with him starting midweek, I don't think he will. I don't think he'll start. I don't think they'll start Rico Lewis. I genuinely don't. 59% of you have voted for Kevin Schade so far, so it does look like he is going to be the pick we are going to go for, and probably going to be sticking with this as our wildcard team for this game week. I'm happy about it, you know. I do feel quite confident about it. Hopefully we can, you know, start to put some green arrows together, start to get things ticking again in the right direction. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, eh? But because I've wildcarded, guaranteed there's going to be a haul, a massive haul. Again, I'm not looking at Fulham players. Their fixtures are falling off. Again, yeah, I'm not looking at Fulham players. Their fixtures are nosediving over the next few. Let me get it up for you. But yeah, here are the Fulham fixtures. So Newcastle this week's not the best. Forest had been one of the best teams for XG conceded. Then it's City away, Villa at home, Everton's an okay fixture, Brentford could go either way, Palace is an okay one. So again, it probably would be around this point here that I'd want them 9. So 4 weeks of benching somebody, not really worth it. So yeah, it's probably going to be around 9 where I'd want to get back into Fulham. So not worth it for a wild card for this week. So again, maybe further down the line when Sharda's fixtures do fall away, then that's where we'll probably pick him up. Visser out for 2 months, so he has 8 weeks plus. Could be a great and nail that spot. Yeah, he very easily could. A lot of the Brentford accounts do feel he is going to be the striker as well. And they're going to play Mbeumo on the right and either Carvalho and who's the other guy? Keane Lewis Potter on the left. That is the plan. So for 5.4 million, he could be worth a bit of a gamble. And like I said, we can make that switch. No, Michael Keane's flagged, and I'm not having Michael Keane in my side. As soon as Branthwaite's like reportedly close to being back, so Keane would drop out. No point. Our wildcard this week, is there anyone you would say is a must-have for a no-Haaland team? Saka, Salah, probably got to be absolutely must-not-haves if you're wildcarding this week and not having Haaland. Maybe one of Palmer's got to be in there as well. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Yeah, that's why I've played Mbeumo today. Like, I know we've got players that have decent fixtures on the bench, but yeah, I feel quite confident playing him. Yeah, DCL and Mikalenko will be fine. Apparently they've recovered from their illness that they had, and whether or not it was actually an illness is another kind of eyebrow moment, because obviously neither of these players were in the squad. Neither was Tarkowski. Whether or not they're resting them for this game, because it is such a they have to win today, Everton, realistically. No, I don't want Timber. Too much of a rotation. We're going to stick with Schade. All the recommendations you've made are just not it. They're not it. We're going to stick with Schade. He's winning the vote as well, 63%. Will Mooney start? No, he started midweek, so he'll be on the bench, and they'll probably start Jimenez today. Families don't speak for weeks after we beat them. Nice. We are approaching the deadline, guys, so make sure you're getting those questions in. Make sure you're getting your teams locked in as well. I probably would recommend going for neither United defender. It probably would be around game week 8. I would want to look for a United defender. Who's better, DCL or Vardy? I probably would say Vardy. Unless we get news about Jota, then no. Like, you can make that move, but unless we get it. And Mbeumo plus Bowen or Saka plus Semenyo. I probably would say the Saka and Semenyo one, just because Saka could be the best captain option next week if he pops off. And I feel like having that best captaincy option every week is going to be huge. Well, apparently Trent starts. I don't know how reliable that is, but Trent is starting. Yeah, I genuinely don't have the money, so we can't do that move, unfortunately. I probably would bench Lewis. I'd play Gavardio. I couldn't see it there, so make sure you are just following me on Twitter. I don't really want to do any team reviews, just in case we get any late team news in. Oh, it's been a long stream today, but you guys have been immense. We're closing in on 3 hours live. Oof. Cool. Does he know if Robertson's starting? I think he should start, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not reading that one out, George. I'm not reading that one out. I'm too smart for you, mate. I'm too smart for you. No, I really want the Aina one. I don't want triple Brentford either. I don't want triple Brentford. I don't want to be tripling up on these like lesser sides, if you know what I mean. I think a double is fine. Tripling up's probably a bit too extreme. Start 2 out of these. João Pedro, Rodgers and Minter. I mean, I probably would not gamble and go Rodgers. No, actually, I'd probably go Rodgers and João Pedro. And if João Pedro doesn't feature, Minter will just come in. So, yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that. He's telling me Robertson, Trent, Konate, Virgil and Kelleher back 5. Okay, cool. Cheers, mate. We're not going to do any more team reviews. We are just going to solely focus on doing, just taking a look. Thoughts on Dunk? Not bad, but again, like I said, you probably want to be picking up Brighton players around game week 8, so you need players that will rotate around him. I have triple Villa. Yeah, Villa are one of those sides, though, where there's a lot of good picks in different positions. A lot of good picks in different positions. Do keep your questions going in, guys. Any late dilemmas that you do have, let me know. Calvert-Lewin should start. Yeah, he should start. He should be fine. Let's have a look. Any late team news? Nothing as of yet. Nothing as of yet. Yeah. Tom, should I start Minter or Smith Rowe? Probably Smith Rowe. Probably Smith Rowe, mate. Forest have been really, really good defensively. Really, really good defensively. Why did I go Greaves over Aina? Basically, we based it off clean sheet percentages here. Aina is at 17%, Greaves at 20%. We've taken that marginal clean sheet percentage. That's all we've done. When is the deadline? In 11 minutes. I would probably say I'd want to start Robinson over Rico Lewis this week. That's the way I'd go on that one. Yeah, Josh has got the right idea as well. Thoughts on Isak to Solanke for a 1-week punt wildcard next week? It's not the worst in the world. The projected goals are definitely there. There's also good predicted points as well, so why not? Why not? Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Like I said, we will be hopefully getting some early team news. Maybe there might be something. When do you reckon is the best game week to wildcard? I mean, 6, there's big fixture swings. 8, there is as well, and 12. But sometimes your team gets in a position where you just have to just do it. I would probably bench João Pedro over Madueke. Yeah, I've seen the rumours about Nunes potentially starting over Jota as well. But again, nothing like concrete and set in stone, so it's one of those, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom. Let me know what you guys have got planned for the rest of the day. I'm going to go hit the gym after this. Then, of course, be watching the football. Get a video out for you guys later as well. And then we've got the AJ Dubois fight as well. That should be good tonight. Who do you think's going to win that one? AJ or Dubois? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. DCL or Vardy? I think Vardy for a 1 week. DCL for more longer term. Again, it depends what state your team is in. I've done it because I didn't have Haaland. He was going to rise in price, and he has. It's allowed me to get the players in I want for this, and I had massive amounts of injuries. Yeah, Foden could be a great differential. Again, we're going to have to see whether or not his minutes are like definitely there, but yeah, he could be one. I probably wouldn't bench boost with that, with João Pedro being a risk. Lewis, obviously, yeah, 10% chance of a clean sheet, so I won't bench boost with that one. Small leak on X, apparently Jota starts the game. Again, is it from a reliable source or is it from just some wishy-washy? Is it from this guy here? I mean, FPL Franz retweeted it. Whether or not it's going to be reliable, I don't know. I really don't know. The fact that Sam Martin, who is like the Leicester reliable account, has gone for Vardy speaks volumes, doesn't it? Does speak volumes about his but yeah, this is the Jota leak apparently. Again, I don't know how reliable it's going to be. Again, there's different ones from different accounts suggesting different things, so it doesn't look like we have anything clear at the moment in terms of those leaks. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's all just from wishy-washy accounts, isn't it? Nothing reliable. Start 2, ESR, Gordon, Robertson, Gordon, what? I mean, you've just put the same 2 players, but yeah. Nah, you can keep it up, bro. You can keep it up. I believe. Trust the process. Ramsdale or Dean Henderson? I mean, both defences have started the season terribly. Here we go. Chris Royce. Is he reliable? Anyone know about Chris? He's got 18k followers. So maybe Chris could be reliable. He's been told that Jota starts today. As old Chris here. Maybe Chris is just looking for some clout though. But yeah, he's got a decent amount of followers. So maybe. Maybe from old Chris. Maybe. Calvert-Lewin available? Yeah, he should be fine. Nah, I think with people saying that Jota's going to start, I probably would leave it this week. Vardy or Solanke as a 1 week punt? I probably would prefer Solanke if I could. I mean, you've got no Haaland coming up, so maybe soon. Probably 6. Yep, apparently Jota's starting. Apparently. Again, all the sources are a bit... I don't really know. I've never seen them before. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Lewin or Nketiah? Probably would go Calvert-Lewin. I probably would start Greaves over Robinson this week. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get any other further team news in. Let's quickly do a tweet. Boom. Quickly grab that like that. Boom. Look at this. And then get the old lock emoji. Boom. Game week 5, wildcard locked. Sweet. That's all that done. You've still got time to bring Cliver in. We're not going near Cliver at all. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Vardy or Watkins instead of Isak? I probably would say Watkins. I probably would play Gvardiol. What teams have the best long-term fixtures? Brentford, Everton. Leicester have a decent set coming up. City. Yeah, there's some of the ones I would be looking at. Yeah, apparently Jota's starting, but again, they're not from like 100% reliable and guaranteeable sources, so take that as you will. Which two to start out of ESR? I'd probably say ESR and Rodgers. We don't know whether or not Callum Hudson-Odoi is like going to be starting every single week. Do 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 do. And I was made for loving you, baby. Do I start João Pedro? Yeah, he's been in training, hasn't he? So it should be fine. FPL Raptors move for Calvert-Lewin and Watkins instead of Isak and Muniz. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Ahmed or ESR this week to start? I probably would say Ahmed's still expected to start. So yeah, I'd probably go with that one. We do have about 4 minutes till the deadline, guys. Make sure you're getting those teams locked and loaded. Thank you for everybody that's been in today's stream. Absolute legends as always. 122 likes on the stream is absolutely madness. So really, really appreciate everybody that's been in here. Lots of love, guys. Lots of love. Make sure you're getting those teams locked and loaded. Start Rodgers or Gordon. I would probably start Anthony Gordon this week. Could be playing as the 9 as well. Play Lewis or Greaves. I probably would go with Greaves. What do you do? What to do with Semeno? I mean, if I've got players that I can bench for him this week, I'd bench him. I have noticed people chance transfers in and out, having more than 2 players from each team. Yeah, I probably would say 2 is the right amount, unless the team's got like an absolutely filthy run and they've got a lot of good players to pick from. Yeah, I told you that one. I don't think it's worth the -8 in my opinion. It's not worth the -8. There's nobody there that I'm like in awe of for a -8, so yeah, I wouldn't do that. Would not be doing that. We've got about 3 minutes till the deadline, guys, so make sure you're getting those teams locked, loaded, and ready for this game week. Just going to check on my phone that mine is definitely sorted. Oh, I can't get enough. Yeah, all locked, all loaded. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Probably got about 2 minutes. Konate, Haaland, or Watkins and Trent. For this week, Watkins and Trent. Longer term, probably more. I want Haaland. Start Robinson or Gabriel. I'd probably take a gamble on Gabriel. Will Alisson start? We don't have anything kind of confirmed on that one. Let's have a look if there is any team news maybe kicking around. There might be something. Most captain player for game week 7. Alfie May at 12% and then Josh Madger. Pedro starts confirmed. Telegram leak. I love those Telegram leaks. If anybody has got anything reliable, let me know. The fact that Focal's rolled his transfer as well, he must feel confident that João Pedro is going to start. Like I said, he was in training yesterday, so maybe they have taken that decision to go for it and just keep him in. Start Warder and Cuckoo? Would. I'd start Wood. Again, we've probably got about 30 seconds till the deadline is closing, guys, so make sure you're all getting those teams locked, loaded, and ready. Birthday boy hat trick coming in. No kind of last minute changes, it does look like, or any last minute team leaks we are getting. So that is probably going to be about it, guys. We're just waiting for that clock to strike 11 o'clock, and then that will be it. That will be it for this game week. Thank you for everybody that's been in today's stream. Absolute legends as always. It has just hit 11 o'clock, so I do believe that will be that. The team is in. Yep, there we go. That is the deadline for another game week done and completed. So yeah, thank you everybody for being in today's stream. Absolutely smashed it in terms of the old likes. Really, really appreciate that one. Absolute legends as always. We are locked. Locked in, baby. Locked in. Let me know what plans you've got for the rest of the day. Where are you watching any of the games? Are you heading to any games as well? I know we've got like quite a few footy fans in the chat and stuff like that actually go to games. They're not armchair fans. They do go to some games, don't they? But yeah, let me know. Yeah, I think Watkins could do well. I feel he's one of the players I am quite scared about today, to be honest, not owning. That for me is the big one. Like, not owning Watkins could be fearful. Genuinely could be fearful. But other than that, I think we're going to be all good, guys. I hope we're all good. I really, really hope we're all good. Yeah. I'm off to United, says Josh. Very, very nice, mate. Hopefully you enjoy that one. Hopefully you do enjoy that one. Well, I hope you enjoy it, mate. I really, really hope you enjoy it. And best of luck to everybody's teams this weekend. And yeah, best of luck, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you. I actually won't see you next week, will I? I won't see you next week because I'm not here. So yeah, not here next week. So Golden Goal will probably be your man to go to. So go and give him some love and support next week from me. But yeah, I won't be here next week. We will be streaming on, not streaming. We'll be out in Sweden for the second channel. So make sure you are dropping me a subscription on that channel as well. Because like I said, plenty more content coming on that one as well. But yeah, I think that's probably going to leave it there, guys. I need the toilet, so I'm going to go to that. But best of luck for this game week. Hopefully it all works out and everybody starts to cook off for everybody. And hopefully we can get a decent game week going. That'd be nice. I can't find the end stream button. There it is. Right, thank you very much for today, guys. Like I said, there will be a video out later. No deadline stream next week, but we will be back the week after.